Good morning, everyone. There's a little delay. We're waiting for everyone to join. We'll wait for 5 more minutes. So we are here to attend this Indian immersion program, Aadigyan, with a motive to introduce India's rich philosophy, art, and culture. This initiative by the International Relations and Higher Studies Office is designed to target various audiences. We are waiting for our VC search to join. So, good morning. Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all the audience for here attending this Indian immersion program, Aadigyan, Experience the Glory of India. With the motive to introduce India's rich philosophy, art, and culture, this initiative by the International Relations and Higher Studies Office is designed to target various audiences. Now, I would like to request everyone to stand up for the prayer song, and let's start the event by taking the Almighty's name. I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Registrar, Sir, and the Deans to come on the stage to lighten the lamp, accompanied by Shweta Ma'am. And I would like to request the prayer song people, Manaswini, Ajalakshmi, Pranati, and Surya on the stage.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। अनंत संसार समुद्रतारा नौकायिताभ्यां गुरुभक्तिदाभ्याम् अनंत संसार समुद्रतारा नौकायिताभ्यां गुरुभक्तिदाभ्याम् वैराग्य साम्राज्यद पूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः गुरुपादुकाभ्यां पापान्धकारार्क परम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयाहीन्द्र खगेश्वराभ्यां जाड्याब्धि संशोषण वाणवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्।
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. For further proceedings, I would like to hand over the stage to Shweta Ma'am, Associate Director, International Relations, to welcome the gathering.
Hello. Good morning, one and all. Respected Honorable President Dr. Satyanarayan Garu, Vice Chancellor Professor V.S. Rao, Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Narayan Rao, Registrar Dr. Prem Kumar, distinguished speakers, guests from all over the globe, diplomats, deans, directors, my fellow SRM colleagues, representatives of the media, parents, students, friends, and spectators from everywhere. A very hearty welcome to you all on this beautiful morning to celebrate the beginning of a cultural initiative, Aadigyan, under whose banner SRM AP intends to offer a wide variety of Indian immersion programs, providing a platform for showcasing, promoting, and preserving our cultural heritage. Art and culture of any nation define its identity. They play a pivotal role in fulfilling our global needs for increased dialogue and understanding the diversity. Art gives us the opportunity to share the human values that make us empathetic to pain and suffering. It lets us celebrate the excellence and innovation. It makes us pioneers of new vision. It makes us passionate in our commitment towards endowing future generations with a better planet, giving us the opportunity to express ourselves creatively. Through our music, dance, poetry, songs, visual arts, theater, films, and other genres of art and culture, they have played a significant role in bringing the nation together. It has acted as a great instrument of harmony and social associativity. India is known across for this pivotal art and cultural heritage. India's intangible cultural heritage flows over 5,000 years. The civilization that developed in the valleys of our two great rivers, the Indus and the Ganges, although was complex but was never an isolated civilization. It had a deep effect on most of the Asia. It has extended its influence directly and indirectly to all parts of the world. As we know that the first striking feature of India is its diversity, it is difficult to imagine the vast territory that stretches from north to south and east to west as one continuous territory. The temperature varies from extreme heat to extreme cold and has facilitated unity and continuity of her history as a country. The fact that India has continually developed and maintained an agricultural economy for almost 4 to 5,000 years explains in part the depth and tenacity of her culture and traditions. The visit to holy places as an imperative religious duty has made traveling a habit for Indians. Similarly, the multitude of monuments associated with all religious communities which have adorned the land influence the geographical consciousness of large number of people. India has one of the world's largest collection of songs, music, dance, theater, folk traditions, performing arts, rites, rituals, paintings, and writings, and that are known as the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. India's cultural heritage is unparalleled in the world. The vast heritage repository of India is recognized globally as a significant part of its unique cultural identity. Believing that cultural exchange between nations is an integral form of soft power, it persuades, informs, educates, and combats ignorance about the others. Cultural diplomacy also aims to promote national interest through peaceful means. There is no better way for a nation to cultivate and utilize its cultural ideas than to put forward the best image of itself. Believing this, SRM University wants to put its foot forward to educate and share the richness of Indian art, culture, and spirituality to the global seekers. as there is absolutely no doubt that cultural exchange acts as bridges which join the old and the new, young and the old, and the emerging and the established. Aadigyan, the Experience the Glory of India is an initiative which is modular in design and allowing it to be tailored to meet the needs of various target audiences. In general, the proposed Indian immersion program is one of a kind of social and cultural experience for foreigners, nationals, and expats who would want to connect, learn, and leave a legacy in India. The aim of this one kind of an initiative is to cater on unique Indian qualities like Sanskrit, Ayurveda, holistic wellness, Indian arts, yoga, tourism, and hospitality. The Indian Immersion Program offers events, courses which include cultural pastimes, including festival celebrations, Indian music, performing dance workshops, where you will learn varied facets and subjects ranging from Indian culinary to languages to yoga to meditation to philosophy. For this, we have collaborated with esteemed world-renowned organizations and individuals and institutions like ISKCON, Isha Foundation, Brahma Kumaris, Art of Living, Temple Dance, Nrityanjali, and many more. Aadigyan is meant to immerse you in India through your five senses and provide you with a unique insight. With this, we are confident that the students and the faculty from overseas will get exposure to the India's heritage, the plurality of cultures, and the technological advances. Through Aadigyan, we believe that the impact of protecting, conserving, interpreting, and showcasing India's heritage can be recognized at multiple levels. With this, I would like to conclude by wishing that Aadigyan would extend the right pedestal to the wonderful amalgam of a variety of cultures and traditions, the unique feature of our country, attained from ancient times and which are still relevant to date. Before I move on, I would like to welcome Srimati Radhe Jaggi from Isha Foundation, Sri Radhe Shyamji from ISKCON, Sri Swami Bodhanandamayi ji from RK Mutt, Sri Pratiksha Kashi from Indian Kuchipudi Dance, Sri Rajiv Nambiar from the Art of Living, Sri BK Shivani ji from Brahma Kumaris, Dr. Revan Singh, the High Commission of India Sri Lanka diplomat, Mrs. Jennifer, the Secretary from High Commission of Ghana, Ms. Goli Gabi, Health and Wellness Coach from United States, Dr. Tushar Guha from Rityanjali, and Sri Hamsini from the Temple Dance. Welcome you all. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, thank you one and all for your support and making this happen. Wish that many of you take advantage of the programs being offered by Aadigyan. Thank you. Now may I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor V.S. Rao Garu of SRM University AP to address the gathering.
Good morning to one and all. The important, distinguished guests who are participating in this function, diplomats, registrar, directors, deans, faculty, staff, and students. I am delighted to be a part of the inauguration of Aadigyan. At the very outset, let me bow my head at the feet of many great artists of India, Bharat Muni, Purandara Dasa, who have introduced Natya Shastra, music, dance in this country. India is a seat of rich culture and arts from time and immemorial. Many kings and kingdoms have encouraged arts and dance in various forms, starting from Guptas to Krishnadevaraya. In almost in all these kingdoms, we have seen how art and culture has received great importance. That is why today India is known for architectural art, sculpture, writing, dance, music, graphic arts, films. Having realized this, many universities, starting from very old, like Takshila, Nalanda, have given importance to liberal arts education. So this university, right from its inception, has laid importance for liberal arts education, for performing arts, and encouraged students to participate in several clubs, dance, music, photography. There are many. Personally, I have association with ISKCON. I have association with Brahma Kumari, and I have association with Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, Vivekananda. Let me also pay my tributes to all these great people like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda ji, Prabhudasa ji, and many more, Sadhguru ji. Actually, they are the pillars who can really integrate our education with arts and culture. To quote Sadhguruji, that dance and music is not just meant for entertainment, it is designed to elevate the consciousness. There are many such people who have taken a lot of interest in encouraging art and culture amongst Indians. So with this in mind, this university wants to make a beginning through the India immersion program, the Indian immersion program called Aadigyan. She has elaborated about all the activities of this Indian immersion program to popularize and inspire people from all over the world, not only the students, not only the professors and professionals. We are going to conduct educational programs, modular educational programs in the Indian immersion. Of course, slowly we will make it something like a study abroad program by integrating this with other academic activities for the students coming from abroad. I would like to, first of all, express my heartfelt gratitude to all those guest speakers who are participating in today's program. And I would like to congratulate our International Relations Directorate for having taken this initiative of the Indian immersion program. And I wish them all the best, and it will reach heights going forward in future. So thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those wonderful words. Now, I will request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to launch the promo. Namaste. Our Indian
I am very happy to launch the promo of Aadigyan.
culture refers to the way of life of people of India. Indian languages, religion, dance, music, architecture, food, and customs differ from place to place within the country. Here, we SRM AP are introducing Aadigyan. Experience the glory of India. One such initiative to make our deep rooted, centuries old, treasured Indian heritage, art, and culture to larger audiences around the world. The home of learning, education, evolution, progress, openness, challenges, pain, compassion, and courage. Through Aadigyan, we aim to provide a platform to all knowledge seekers and explorers to quench their interests and passion for rich Indian art and culture. Namaste. Our Indian culture refers to the way of life of people of India. Indian languages, religion, dance, music, architecture, food, and customs differ from place to place within the country. Here, we SRM AP are introducing Aadigyan. Experience the glory of India. One such initiative to make our deep rooted, centuries old, treasured Indian heritage, art, and culture to larger audiences around the world. The home of learning, education, evolution, progress, openness, challenges, pain, compassion, and courage. Through Aadigyan, we aim to provide a platform to all knowledge seekers and explorers to quench their interests and passion for rich Indian art and culture. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to Shweta ma'am to introduce our Honorable Chief Guest of the Day. Over to you.
Thank you, Manubna. Good morning, everyone. We got to know that our honorable chief guest, Sri Kishan Reddy Garu, the Cabinet Minister for Tourism and Culture, had to attend a very important meeting with the Cabinet, and he regrets for not being able to connect live with us on this occasion. We received a message from his office, so on behalf of him, I'll be sharing that message. Dear SRM University, Andhra Pradesh, it is heartening to note the launch of Aadigyan, which embarks the beginning of sharing Indian values, culture, and heritage and art to a global level. I wish Aadigyan a grand success and congratulate SRM Andhra Pradesh for providing this wonderful opportunity to the world. Wish you all the best. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for making the time to address the gathering. Now, moving forward, dance is an art that carries emotions, culture, and tells stories. It is one of the ways to convey an emotion that not only entertains us but also energizes and brings the feeling of togetherness. And Kuchipudi is one of the 8 major Indian classical dances of our country, which originates from a village named Kuchipudi in Andhra Pradesh. It is a dance drama performance with its roots in the ancient Hindu Sanskrit text of Natya Shastra. On this note, I would like to invite Shishira Kokilavani and Anushrita Reddy from the Temple Dance for their performance. They will be performing Shivashtakam, which they shot at the famous Rudreshwara Temple, Warangal, which is standing still from the 13th century, symbolizing their rich history and traditions. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So let's just move ahead with the program.
ಹತ್ತ ದಿಂದಂ ತದ್ದಿಕ್ಕಿಟ ತುಂಗಣ ಹತ್ತ ದಿಂದಂ ತದ್ದಿಕ್ಕಿಟ ತುಂಗ ಡಿನ್ ಡಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಣ ತುಂಗ ಜಂ ಜಂ ಕಿಣ ತುಂಗ ನುಸಕಿಟ ಕಿಣ ತುಂಗ ಡಿನ್ ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಿಣ ತುಂಗ ನುಸಕಿಟ ಕಿಣ ತುಂಗ ಡಿನ್ ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಿಣ ತುಂಗ ನಾ ಹತ್ತ ಜನದಂ ತಣ್ಣಂ ದಂ ದನ ತಣ ಹತ್ತ ಜನದಂ ತಣ್ಣಂ ದಂ ದನ ತಟ ತಣ್ಣ ತಟ ಜಣ್ಣ ತಟ ನಿಮ್ಮದ ಕಿಡದಕ್ಕೆ ದರಿಗಿಡದಂತ ತಣ್ಣ ತಟ ಜಣ್ಣ ತಟ ನಿಮ್ಮದ ಕಿಡದಕ್ಕೆ ದರಿಗಿಡ ತಣ್ಣ ತಟ ಜಣ್ಣ ತಟ ನಿಮ್ಮದ ಕಿಡದಕ್ಕೆ ದರಿಗಿಡದಂತ
प्रभुं प्राणनाथं विभुं विश्वनाथं जगन्नाथनाथं सदानन्दभाजं प्रभुं प्राणनाथं विभुं विश्वनाथं जगन्नाथनाथं सदानन्दभाजं भवद्भव्यभूतेश्वरं भूतनादं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे भवद्भव्यभूतेश्वरं भूतनादं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे गणेरुण्डमालं तनूसत्पजानं महाकालकालं गणेशादिपालम् गणेरुण्डमालं तनूसत्पजानं महाकालकालं गणेशादिपालम् जटाजूटगङ्गोत्तरङ्गै विशिष्टं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे जटाजूटगङ्गोत्तरङ्गै विशिष्टं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे उदामाकरं मण्डलं मण्डयन्तं महामण्डलं भस्मभूषाधरं उदामाकरं मण्डलं मण्डयन्तु महामण्डलं भस्मभूषाधरं अनादिं ह्यपारं महामोहमानं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे अनादिं ह्यपारं महामोहमानं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे मठादो निवासं महाटाटहासं महापापनाशं सरासुप्रकाशं मठादो निवासं महाटाटहासं महापापनाशं सरासुप्रकाशं गिरीशं गणेशं सुरेशं महेशं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे गणेशं सुरेशं महेशं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे गिरीन्द्रात्मजासं गृहीतार्थदेहं गिरौ संस्थितं सर्वदा सन्निवेदं गिरीन्द्रात्मजासं गृहीतार्थदेहं गिरौ संस्थितं सर्वदा सन्निवेदम् परब्रह्म ब्रह्मादिभिर्वन्द्यमानं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे परब्रह्म ब्रह्मादिभिर्वन्द्यमानं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे कपालं त्रिशूलं कराभ्रान्तदानं पदाम्बोजनं राय कामन्तदानम् कपालं त्रिशूलं कराभ्रान्तदानं पदाम्बोजनं राय कामन्तदानम् बलिवर्धयानं सुराणां प्रधानं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे बलिवर्धयानं सुराणां प्रधानं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुनीसारमीडे पात्रं त्रिनेत्रं पवित्रं गणेशस्य मित्रम् शरच्चन्द्रगात्रं गणानन्दपात्रं त्रिनेत्रं पवित्रं धनेशस्य मित्रम् अपर्णाकडत्रं सदा सच्चरित्रं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुमीशानमीडे अपर्णाकडत्रं सदा सच्चरित्रं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुमीशानमीडे हरं सर्पहारं चिताभूविहारं भवं वेदसारं सदा निर्विकारम् हरं सर्पहारं चिताभूविहारं भवं वेदसारं सदा निर्विकारम् श्मशाने वसन्तं मनोजन्तबन्धं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुमीशानमीडे श्मशाने वसन्तं मनोजन्तबन्धं शिवं शङ्करं शम्भुमीशानमीडे स्वयं यः प्रभाते नरशूलपाणि पठे स्तोत्ररत्नं इहप्राप्य रत्नम् स्वयं यः प्रभाते नरशूलपाणि पठे स्तोत्ररत्नं इहप्राप्य रत्नम् स्वयं यः प्रभाते नरशूलपाणि पठे स्तोत्ररत्नं इहप्राप्य रत्नम् सुपुत्रं सुजानं सुमित्रं कलत्रं विशिष्टै समाराध्य मोक्षं प्रयाति सुपुत्रं सुजानं सुमित्रं कलत्रं विशिष्टै समाराध्य मोक्षं प्रयाति
तद्दिं ततद्दिं ततकिट दिन दिमित दिमि दिमित दिमि दिमित तकिट दिन दिमित ता हत्त दण्डतां दण्डं दं दण्डतना हत्त दण्डतां दण्डं दं दण्डत कुन्द किट किट दरिकि कुन्द तकिडदिक दरिकिडदिकद तकुन्दत्त किडदिक दरिकिडदिकद तकुन्दत्त किडदिक दरिकिडदिक दिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त तगदादात दिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त तगदादात दिन्त दित्त तगदादात दिन्त दित्त तगदादात दिन्त दित्त द दित्त द 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 किडदिक दरिकिडदिक 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 दित्त तदिकिण्णद दित्त दजं तदिकिण्णद तादजं तदिकिण्णद 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 तदित्त दजं तगददिकिण्णद दित्त दजं तगददिकिण्णद तादजं तगददिकिण्णद 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 तदित्त दजं तगदिक तदिकिण्णद दित्त दजं तगदिक तदिकिण्णद तादजं तगदिक तदिकिण्णद तगदिक तदिकिण्णद तगदिक तदिकिण्णद दिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त तगदिन्त दित्त
Isn't that beautiful and astounding? Thank you, Shishira and Anushika. Well dance for your lively performance. As the minister won't be joining us today, let's carry on with the program. As we all know that SRM AP partnered with various organizations, namely ISKCON, The Art of Living, the Temple Dance, Nrityanjali, Isha Foundation, Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation, Brahma Kumaris, and Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math. All these, along with our university, collaborated to center the ceremony on wide unique Indian qualities like Sanskrit, Ayurveda, Indian arts, Indian culinary sciences, yoga, tourism, and hospitality.
Now it's time to introduce our dignitaries. Let's hear it from them.
Now we have Radhe Jaggi ma'am, who is leading Isha Samskriti, Isha Foundation. Sprung from the word Isha, meaning the formless divine, the Isha Foundation is a non-profit spiritual organization established in 1992 near Coimbatore, India by Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. Run almost entirely by the volunteers, this foundation provides yoga programs and schools to all people over the world. Srimati Radhe Jaggi, an Indian classical Bharatanatyam dancer and the daughter of Jaggi Vasudev, she's leading
the institute Isha Samskriti, located at the Isha Yoga Center, set in the serene foothills of the Velangiri Mountains near Coimbatore, India. This is an institute that allows people to explore their innate capabilities rather than imposing merely informative education on them. In addition, this also provides an ideal environment for children to unfold in harmony within themselves and with the world around them. Thank you for taking part in the event, ma'am. Please take up the platform.
Namaskaram. Thank you very much for having me as part of this event. I think we have a little bit of a video to show you the kind of work that we're trying to do with Project Samskriti as part of Isha Foundation. If we can watch that first, then I can speak a little bit more about our collaboration with SRM University.
It's been a journey. "12 years have passed by since we first stepped into Isha Samskriti. Traveling through the depths of a timeless culture. In this education of discovery, envisioned by Sadhguru, we learned not just the intricacies of music, dance, kalari, and yoga, but immersed ourselves in these ancient arts.
They have invested their life completely from the age of 6, 7 till now. Today, these children have grown up into fantastic human beings.
Dance, for me, is an expression of beauty, looking at life with an artistic approach. As I keep learning and exploring, I just realize how big the art is, a process enriching yet so humbling.
Music opened me up to experience depths within myself which I never imagined possible.
Kalari has reshaped not just my body, but also my mind, living on the very edge of intensity, focus, and stillness.
This education is focused simply on developing human body and human brain to its fullest. These children are not being prepared for a university, but for the universe.
The possibilities are endless, propelled by a flood of gratitude, ready to offer all that we are, all that we have, and much more.
It is my wish and my blessing that Project Samskriti becomes your instrument of exploration and expression of the wonderfulness of being human.
So I have had the opportunity to be part of Project Samskriti over the last year and a half. And it's been a very wonderful journey for me. As you have seen from the video, these students who are now not children anymore, they're a little bit more grown up. They have been brought up in a very unique environment. Their focus, their studies have always been towards the arts. So as they mentioned, we focus them on Bharatnatyam, Carnatic music, Hindustani music. They learn Sanskrit to the point where they're able to converse in Sanskrit on a regular basis. They learn Kalari Paite, they learn yoga. They also learn a little bit of Ayurveda and Siddha. So these are the children who, now that they have grown up, will be offering these classes. We offer them online on our own platform, but we are very, very happy to have partnered with SRM University and be able to offer this to students. The way that we have organized these modules is so that they are reaching towards slightly older students. I think, I don't know how many of you are in the audience, but many of you, if you have not learned dance or music from when you're a very young child, you feel that it's something that's beyond you. Particularly classical music and classical dance, Kalari Paite, which is physically very demanding. People believe that if they have not learned it from a young age, it's beyond them. And this is simply not true. So the intention behind Project Samskriti is to make these art forms easily accessible to people of different backgrounds, of different ages, of different capabilities, and to ensure that our arts and culture have an audience and an appreciative audience at that. Pratiksha Kashi is also here as a fellow dancer. She will know that when we go to places and we perform, we have a select audience that is very knowledgeable, and then a lot of other people who come and they want to appreciate but don't have the means to appreciate because they have not had the exposure. And Project Samskriti is Sadhguru's vision to change that perception. We would like to educate as many people as possible in the nuances of our classical art forms. When we travel across the world, we tend to look at how well preserved other people's art forms are, whether you look at ballet or Broadway theater, and you think that this is an art form that has been projected in the best way possible. But the truth is that we have that and so much more within our country, within the culture that we have developed over thousands of years. The only thing that's missing is for us to encourage it and for us to bring it up to the standard that we expect of companies that are there outside. By companies, I mean dance companies and music companies that get together for performances. So Project Samskriti is one movement in that direction. We have online classes, we will have in-person classes. We're also very happy that as part of Isha Foundation, we have the Hatha Yoga School, which is also joining us with this project. So they will be teaching Hatha Yoga in its pure sense, the same way that we will be doing dance, music, and Kalari Paite in its true form. And I think I have to thank everybody else who is here on the online as well as on the stage for including us in this. I'm very excited for these students to be able to show what they're capable of, but also to include students who are studying law and engineering and medicine and give them a taste of what our classical arts can do. Thank you all very much for having me today as part of your launch event. It's been my privilege and pleasure to be with you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for addressing our gathering today, and we are very happy that for the collaboration. Thank you, ma'am. Now moving forward, here we have the next dignitary. We have the president of ISKCON Pune, Sri Radheshyam Das ji, leading a community of 6,000 members for the last 22 years. He's also the founding director of the Vedic Oasis for Inspiration, Culture and Education, VOICE, a youth wing of ISKCON, which offers systems and courses for colleges and company youth in SQ-based leadership. He compiled various youth books like Stress to Smile, Art of Smart Work, Art of Harnessing Mind Power, Practical Tips to Control Mind, 5-volume series on science and spirituality, etc. He was an IIT Bombay topper during his college days and has now been a youth trainer for the last 25 years in the all leading IITs, NITs, and engineering colleges of India and abroad. He not only has presented seminars at universities like MIT Boston, Stanford University, University of Washington, Cornell University, etc., but also at corporates like Amazon, Bank of America, Infosys, Cognizant, and Persistent. He was felicitated by the Global Excellence Award for Educating Youth, Jiva Goswami Award for Innovative Youth Outreach, and Global Excellence Award winner for Educating Youth in Bhagavad Gita. We are pleased to have you here with us, sir. Please take up the platform.
Am I audible? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvannmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I am very thankful to SRM, Andhra Pradesh University for organizing this beautiful event. All over the world, education is certainly geared towards money making, but rarely for man making. And I am very proud of SRM University because I myself studied in SRM University way back in 85. I graduated as a mechanical engineer. Later, I joined IIT Bombay. So when I was in Chennai, I was a part of SRM University. So what is the goal of education? The goal of education is heart transformation. It is not just profuse information. What do you mean by heart transformation? From arrogance to humility, from belittling others to being respectful for others, cruelty to others to be compassionate to others, from lust to love, from anger to peace, from greed to satisfaction, from having revengeful thoughts to forgiving thoughts, from being extremely rigid to being flexible, from being selfish to being adaptable or selfless. So you will see that this type of heart transformation is possible by human being because the difference between a human and an animal is like the difference between an aeroplane and a car. The car and aeroplane may go in the runway at the same time, but the aeroplane can take off, but the car cannot. Animals act by instinct, whereas we humans, we act based on look before you leap. Think twice before you speak, because we know the sped arrow, the broken glass, or the spilt milk, and the spoken words cannot be taken back. So therefore, human beings can think twice before we speak or before we act. So is modern day education fulfilling this purpose of heart transformation? It hasn't been, because man had become gradually focused towards materialism, and spirituality had assumed a backseat. But fortunately, in the recent past, in the last 1 decade, we can see there is a great renaissance and revolution of spirituality all across the globe. And I myself have been observing that there has been an increasing interest amongst the students, youth, to become more open-minded, to learn family culture from Ramayana, from learning management principles from Mahabharata, from learning self-management techniques from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And the leaders all across the globe are showing great interest in texts like Chanakya Niti, Hitopadesha, Panchatantra, and such kinds of literature. And I am myself teaching universities. We have reached several lakhs of students across the country as well as abroad. So we have been observing that that interest is rising. At the same time, we should be very clear about the goal. When we talk about art, when we talk about it means many things. When we talk about culture, the Bharatanatyam which we saw now a few minutes ago was so impressive. It can actually evoke devotional emotions in our heart when we watch such a beautiful dance. In the same manner, the Carnatic music or the Hindustani music are different types of paintings. That also comes in art, different type of dresses, different type of foods, different type of methods of offering respect to guests and respect to God. All these things come under the heading of culture. But what is the purpose of culture is very important to know. The purpose of culture is to glorify God, who is the source of all creation. Idam kipum sastapasa shrutasya vasvishtasya suktasya ja buddhi dattayoho avichuto arthakavi birnirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Even great scientists like Newton said, my knowledge is like the small pebbles in the seashore. And what God has created is like a vast ocean, he said. Still I am yet to discover about it. And I'm like a toddler, he said. In the same manner, Einstein said, I respect God, who is the source of all this creation with such great intelligence. And Lord Kelvin said, if you think strongly enough, you'll be forced by science to accept God. So there are many, many statements like that. The whole idea is one has to understand the goal of all culture is to use the culture to remind people of the sublime goal of human form of life, which is to free everybody from all sufferings. Sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous become tranquil. May the tranquil become free. May those who are free set others free. This is actually the goal of life. So is our education leading to this purpose? So I'm very appreciative that SRM, Andhra Pradesh University, has started this new direction of Aadigyan, by which they are bringing about a revolution in the modern day education, because they are combining hands with those who can offer children and students the best fulfilling experience for the body, mind, and soul. You see, the purpose of education, I told you, is the heart transformation. At the same time, one has to know what is the basis for bringing about such a positive transformation in the hearts of everybody. The basis is authority. Our Prime Minister of India gifted a Bhagavad Gita to Japanese president and said, there is no better gift I can offer than this. This is the best thing I can offer. So the authority of teacher, Lord Krishna, teaching the Bhagavad Gita to the people has done immense good to the world. Even today, there are more than 900 commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Many, many teachers have elaborately expanded upon it. So where he teaches many valuable things for the modern day youth. He teaches behavior. Look at the behavior of Yudhishthira, how he respected even evil-minded Dhritarashtra. How Yudhishthira dealt with Duryodhana like considering him as his own younger brother. On the other hand, you find Duryodhana treating Draupadi, who should be treated like his younger sister. He treated her so badly by bringing her in the public assembly to disrobe her. And he was envious of equal friend Bhima. And he was envious of Yudhishthira. So students should be taught how not to be envious, rather how to be friendly. Be friendly with the cheerful, delight in the virtuous, and keep distance from the envious. In this way, the scriptures teach many valuable things. Another very important thing the scriptures teach, apart from behavior, they also teach character. Character means how to be humble, how to be tolerant, how to respect all, and how not to be affected by false prestige. And also character is about maturity, how to present my opinions to others while listening to others very well. God has given me 2 years to listen, and I have one mouth to speak. So I should also be willing to open my mind to listen to others. And that is actually maturity, boldness versus sensitivity. Similarly, integrity means to keep our promises. In this way, these kind of aspects of character have to be inculcated in the students. Similarly, the discipline, obedience, and self-control are so important. See Hanuman, how disciplined he was. Before launching the search for Sita, he was offering his prayers to his guru, Surya Dev. He offered his prayer to Lord Ram, Lord of his life. He offered his prayers to his father, Vayu. And then he jumped up, took a great leap to go to Lanka to find out Sita. Because the prayer brings forth abundant blessings in our lives. Respecting the elders, respecting teachers, respecting parents, respecting God, and treating women with dignity. Shastras teaches Matravat Paradareshu. Every woman should be treated like a mother, except one's own wife. One should respect every woman as a mother. So, unfortunately, these teachings are forgotten by the modern youth, and due to which we are seeing a society filled with exploitation and enjoying mentality. So, we need to bring about these kind of values, character, and good habits in the lives of the youth. I am very thankful to SRM AP for giving us a chance to express ourselves through our education, culture, and devotion. What Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada did in 1965. He went to the Western world in 1965. In 12 years, he traveled all across the globe 14 times. Especially, he made the hippies into happies. At that time, the hippies were drug addicts. They were smoking, drinking, illicit connections, everything they had. But within a year, he transformed them all. As I told you, religion is all about heart transformation. He brought about a great transformation. And the youth of America were turning into hippies. But Prabhupada turned the hippies back into happies with pure lifestyle, good habits, good character, good behavior, and aligned with God. So in conclusion, I will complete my talk now with 4 statements, which I want to give it as a take-home message for all of you. Because whatever you say, Madhurameva Samapiyet, we should end with a sweet note. Acceptance of God, alignment with God, acting for the pleasure of God, acting on behalf of God. Every human being should do this to become divine. Acceptance of God, you look at the world around you, the sun shines, the clouds shower, the grains grow, the flowers blossom, the fruits ripen. Look at the world around you. We are not doing all these things, and we are totally dependent on these things. So let us accept the great Lord who has created this world and running this world and nourishing all his children like all of us. Acceptance of God. Alignment with God means accepting sacred texts like Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Quran. We have the scriptures, and also Mahabharata, Ramayana, Chanakya Niti, all these things. So let us align with wisdom teachings, wisdom literature, and lead our life according to that map. And thirdly, acting for the pleasure of God. Acting for the pleasure of God means one should, just like children should act for the pleasure of the parents. Similarly, God is the supreme parent. Let us act for his pleasure by cultivating good habits, character, as I told you, values, and acting on behalf of God means let us become responsible teachers, responsible parents. Let us walk our talk. Let us live our lives and leave a legacy behind, which can be followed by many, many millions of people in the time to come by following in the footsteps of the teachings of the Gita. So this is my humble request to all the students, which I have been teaching as I have been traveling to different places. Now SRMAP is coming up with courses in their university. They are giving us an opportunity to teach these courses. I am very grateful to them. I deeply appreciate their sincere desires, because they want to not only help the students earn a living, they want to teach them a lifestyle, which they can take with them when they pass out of the college. And I am very sure many IITs and NITs are going to follow in the footsteps of SRMAP in the time to come. And they will see that we have been only technologically astute, but we have missed out the most essential element of our life. You can live without hand, you can live without leg, you can't live without head. So without value-based life, nobody can live happily in this world. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words. We are glad to know that you are an alumni of SRM, and it was a pleasure to have you here. So moving on, next we have Pratiksha Kashi ma'am, an impaneled artist for the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Hailing from an artistic family, she got introduced to dance at a tender age. Ever since she is being trained in Kuchipudi under the guidance of her mother and guru Vaijayanti Kashi, a celebrated performer and choreographer, and has completed her master's degree in Fine Arts Kuchipudi. She has also performed in several prestigious dance festivals at regional, national, and international levels. She has toured various countries not only to perform but also to conduct workshops along with her mother and guru. She is also an A-grade artist for broadcasting media, Doordarshan Kendra. While a motive to spread Kuchipudi and to inspire the youth towards it, she coaches dance aspirants and has also released the Kuchipudi DVD titled The Magic of Kuchipudi, featuring the choreographic works of her guru Vaijayanti Kashi. She has been honored with Ustad Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar at Central Sangeet Natak Academy, Aditya Birla Kalakiran Puraskar, and Me the Jalota Puraskar from Jalota Welfare Foundation, and was titled Nalanda Nitya Nipuna, instituted by Nalanda Dance Research Center. She has also had an initial footing in the theatre domain and has featured as a lead role in the film Priyamanasam, the world's third Sanskrit movie, which bagged the national award, and in the Tamil feature film Nitya Sumangali, roved around the life of Devdasi. She currently manages Sambhavi School of Dance, a premier Kuchipudi Guruk instituted by Vaijayanti Kashi. It's a pleasure to have you here, ma'am. Please take up the platform with your talk.
Om Guru Pyo Namaha. Namaste to one and all present here. I'm very honored to be a part of this esteemed panel of speakers. And all thanks to the Office of International Relations and Higher Studies, SRM University, Andhra Pradesh, for inviting me to be a guest as part of this virtual launch of an initiative as unique as Aadigyan. A great person once quoted, India, with all her infinite charm and variety, began to grow upon me more and more. And yet, the more I saw of her, the more I realized how very difficult it was for me or for anyone else to grasp the ideas she had embodied. Because it was not her wide spaces that eluded me, or even her diversity, but some depth of soul which I could not fathom. I found this quote to be very apt for this gathering because the very intention of Aadigyan is to spread the glory of India far and wide. And there are many facets, I feel, which add to its charm. One of it significantly being the dance forms. Today, I'm very happy to be speaking about a topic that I am personally very passionate about, Indian dance forms. And what is it that makes them so special? Now, as we all know, in India, Vedas are considered to be the primordial source of knowledge. And it is believed that everything else emanated from the four Vedas. Now, as per the origin of Indian dance, it is considered to be the fifth Veda, also known as the Natya Veda. And as per the legend, the golden age of Krita Yuga passed peacefully. And thereafter came the silver age of Treta Yuga. That is when the trouble started. There was a deterioration in the nature and character of people who succumbed to increased sensual pleasures, lust, greed, jealousy, and dishonesty. And this led to chaos and misery everywhere. It is then that Lord Indra and other devas approached Lord Brahma and requested him to save mankind by creating something that is pleasing to the eyes, melodious for the ears, thoughtful for the mind, and soothing for the soul. Something that could be easily enjoyed by one and all, irrespective of caste and creed. In the words of Sri Radhesham Dasji, who just spoke so beautifully, something which can transform the heart and soul. As a response, Lord Brahma created the Natya Veda as a culminated essence of all the four Vedas by taking the Pathyam or lyrics from Rig Veda, Geetam or music from Samaveda, Abhinaya or expressions from Yajur Veda, and Rasas or sentiments from the Atharvana Veda. And upon creation of the Natya Veda, Lord Brahma handed over the responsibility of its propagation to Bharata Muni and his disciples. Now, from this story, we understand how important dance is to the fabric of India, because it encompasses the fourfold purpose of life: dharma, righteousness; artha, prosperity; kama, the desires; and moksha, the salvation. We can be very proud of the fact that India is the only country to have 8 classical dance forms, apart from several other indigenous and folk forms, as my friend Radhe Jaggi was also mentioning. Dance has been mentioned and glorified in all the great literary works of India that have followed the Vedas, be it in the Upanishads, the Sutras, the epics, the Shastras, or even the Kavyas. In the Grihya Sutras, it is clearly stated that the arts of music and dancing played an important role in every stage of domestic life, including birth ceremonies, Upanayana or threading ceremony, marriages, Simantana, or even the death ceremony. Here I have to mention the epic Ramayana, in which dancing is considered to be a Gandharva Vidya and was a significant part of the Gurukula training system. Dancing was taught to princes and princesses alike, right from a tender age. And our very first picture of Ayodhya as a city full of prosperity, peace, and satisfaction is a picture where the entertainments like music and dance were in full bloom, because these marked an essential sign of a prosperous dynasty. In fact, we read that both Lord Rama as well as Ravana were proficient in the art of dancing. There are numerous descriptions of dancing mentioned in the epic Mahabharata as well, because by then the retinue of Indra's Apsaras had considerably increased, and they had also descended upon earth to allure, to tempt, and be friendly with man. In fact, Arjuna's disguise as Brihannana in the Virata Parva is quite popular. Not just that, Indian dancing has been strongly associated with most of the Hindu deities, including Lord Shiva or Nataraja, who is considered to be the Lord of Dance, Lord Krishna, Ganesha, Subramanya, and the varied forms of Mother Goddess, be it Parvati, Saraswati, Lakshmi, and many more. We also see that the dance postures were sculpted on the walls and pillars of several prominent temples, including the Brihadishwara temple in Tanjore, temples in Hampi, Beluru, Halebeedu of Karnataka, the Khajuraho temple, and several others spanning the length and breadth of India. These were also promoted significantly by several rulers and their dynasties, including the Cholas, the Pandavas, the Pallavas, as well as the Vijayanagara dynasty. Now here, it brings us, I feel, to a very important question. What is it about Indian dance that makes it so significant and widespread? And why is it important for us to embrace it? I feel Indian dance forms aid in the all-round development of an individual because it goes beyond the realm of physicality and it indulges one's thoughts, emotions, and psyche as well. Dance truly acts as a stress buster by helping release toxins from the body and also activating the brain cells simultaneously. It helps in the release of endorphins, also known as the happy hormones, thereby resulting in a very positive feeling at the end of it. As most of you might know, communication is the soul of Indian dance forms. And in the process of portraying various characters from different mythologies, or it can be epics, a dance practitioner not only learns about the rich and the unique tales of India, and we also get connected to the culture of our land in a very significant manner, but it also helps us in developing a flexibility of body and mind, which is of utmost importance. In the process of maybe for example, when I played the role of Hanuman in one of our productions, Chitra Lohita, where Hanuman opens his heart to show his devotion to Sri Rama, of course, I knew the importance of bhakti even before that. But by dancing that episode, the transformation that happened in me and the way I could connect to bhakti as a concept was so much more stronger. And as, again, Radhesham Das ji said, it's very important for us to inculcate values, character, a sense of humility. And I think this episode, as I danced, helped me improve on my humility towards everything around me, not just on stage. Dance also makes a person more expressive and aids in better communication, which is of utmost importance in our day-to-day life. You know, there are many who enroll for personality development sessions to improve on communication skills, confidence, concentration, grasping power, and focus. But how about joining a dance class instead? Because it single-handedly caters to all of these concerns and more. It is also scientifically proven that dancing improves blood circulation, body-mind coordination, and helps in multitasking abilities. From my personal experience, I can vouch that dancing has helped me a great deal in education as well. You know, when I was pursuing my computer science engineering, more often than not, there would be dance performances just before my internals or my final exams. And while my friends would be focusing on studies, there I was preparing for dance performances. Of course, a lot of prior planning went into managing the situation, but I must say that post a performance, I would feel so rejuvenated that made my studying and the experience of preparing for an exam much more faster, efficient, and enjoyable. Now, Indian dances are also used for therapeutic purposes because they help a great deal in healing. In an age where mental health is becoming a concern, I can see that the significance of dancing is only increasing. I vividly remember this one young girl several years ago who walked into our dance institution with her parents. She was affected with Down syndrome, and her parents wanted to enroll her for dance classes because it was advised by the doctors themselves. In the initial 10 minutes that I met her, it was evident that she was going through a lot of mood swings and she was very reluctant to even look into or talk to people around her. But I was pleasantly surprised to see how a month of dancing under the guidance of my mother and Guru Srimati Vaijayanti Kashi changed her attitude for good. I feel dance had a calming effect on her mind and it made her feel more relaxed. And I think a sense of accomplishment engulfed her after every dance class, which eventually increased her self confidence. Though dancing might not completely heal a syndrome, I feel that it certainly eases out and improves the coping mechanism. And one of the other factors which I feel makes Indian dancing so special is its universality. It reaches out to people in an unbiased fashion, irrespective of nationality, aesthetic preferences, language, caste, creed, and whatnot. Here, I would like to quote one episode which I personally experienced. We were once sent to Tanzania and Uganda by the Indian Council of Cultural Relations for performances. And as part of the performance, we had planned to present a piece on Kubja, who is a hunchback woman, and she was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Initially, we were very skeptical if people could relate to this piece because the language used as well as the story itself was completely alien for the African audience. But the response that we received was so overwhelming. There were many who came backstage to see us filled with tears post the performance. And I can never forget that moment because for me personally, it reiterated the strength, the depth, the power, the magic, and the universality of Indian dance forms. Now, many a times, we often even question the relevance of Indian dance forms. There is also a misnomer amongst the younger generation that Indian dance is only meant for older people and maybe only for the feminine gender. And as my friend Radhe said, maybe they feel it's beyond their reach. However, we should understand that Indian dance is very much gender neutral. And it's like a river that has constantly been flowing through generations, enriching civilizations with culture and values. Indian dance has an innate ability of interpretations and reinterpretations, making it vibe with the rhythm of every generation that comes up, and making it also suitable for all age groups, be it a child, a teenager, a middle-aged person, or even a senior or an elderly person. For those who seek entertainment, for those who seek education, or even spiritual inclination and growth, Indian dance has the power to give you what you seek from it. And it also caters to varied themes, including mythological, historical, social, political subjects. All of these and more can be creatively and intelligently put forth through the medium of Indian dance. And we should be aware that our Indian dance forms are very much a living tradition, which is why it has remained relevant not just in the past, but also in the present and will remain so in future as well. It is interesting to note how Indian dance has become an active part of Indian education system these days. And there are several platforms for dancers to showcase their art today and to embrace it as a full-time profession. Indian dance is also a symbol of peace and harmony, upholding the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family, which a message which is very important for us to rethink on, especially in the present situation and times. They say, deeper the roots, bigger the tree. And for us as humans to transform and become much more efficient, it is important, firstly, to connect to ourselves through emotions, and very important to be constantly connected to the values of our land, because it's truly special. I wish that we can immerse ourselves much better in the glory of India and its values through the various initiatives of Aadigyan, which I'm sure will certainly enrich us and result in an increased efficiency in our parallel pursuits. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us a deep insight on Indian dance forms and for showing us the importance of dance through your various examples and anecdotes. Thank you for being a part of this event. Moving forward, music erases those emotions that cannot be done by speech alone. Classical music infuses our lives that help in expressing the thought of civilization and experience the achievements of another genre. Composing of many intricate music details, we have Shruti to perform one of the Indian classical musics, Carnatic music. She would be singing in the raga Jagamohini, followed by Saumyadev, who would be performing another Indian classical music, Hindustani, in the rag Bhairavi. They'll be joining us virtually. Let's welcome them.
Namaste. My name is Shruti Pulla, and I'm doing my second year in BSc Economics Honors. I'm going to sing a Tyagaraja Kirtana of the Ragam Jagan Mohini, Shobillu Saptaswara. Shobillu Saptaswara, 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 Sundarulabha Jimpave Manasa, Shobillu Saptaswara, Sundarulabha Jimpave Manasa, Shobillu Saptaswara. Nabihrut kantarasana, Nabihrut kantarasana, Nabihrut kantarasana, Nasa दररुक् समादुललो वरगायत्री हृदयमुना दररुक् समादुललो वरगायत्री हृदयमुना सुरभो सुरमानसमुना सुरभो सुरमानसमुना सुरभो सुरमानसमुना सुबत्याग राजुनीयड सुरभो सुरमानसमुना सुबत्याग राजु नीयड सोबिल्लु सप्त स्वरा सुन्दरुलभ जिम्पवे मनसा सोबिल्लु सप्त स्वरा Thank you.
Good morning and pranam to all the esteemed
Request
panelists.
Soumyadeep to continue, please.
Yeah, am I audible? I'm audible, okay. Good morning and pranam to all the esteemed panelists present here. I am Soumyadeep Das. Hello? Hello, am I audible? Okay, I guess. I am Soumyadeep Das of CSC second year, and I will be singing a song that is based on Bhairavira. जयते 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 सत्यमेव जयते सत्यमेव जयते सत्यमेव जयते 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 ओ ज्ञान ध्यान मान सम्मान ज्ञान ध्यान मान सम्मान सब मिले तब गावत गान सब मिले जब गावत गान ज्ञान ध्यान मान सम्मान सब मिले जब गावत गान संगीत की साधना में संगीत की साधना में मधुर गीत सोयते जयते 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 ज्ञान ध्यान मान सम्मान सब मिले जब गावत गान ज्ञान ध्यान
सब मिले जब गावत गान संगीत की साधना में मधुर गीत श्रूयते जयते 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 ओ Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti and Saumyadeep, for those beautiful and melodious performances. We are here with another music performance coming up now without a singer. Yes, it is an instrumental music.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Amrit Kumar Sinha from ECE branch, first year. I will be playing Rag Hansudhwani.
Thank you, Amrit. That was one soothing performance, and I think all the audience has enjoyed it as much as I did. So I would like to invite Radhe Jaggi ma'am to give a few words.
Namaskaram. I'm sorry to interrupt the proceedings a little bit. We are in the ashram preparing for Mahashivratri, which is coming upon us in a few days. And so there are a few other events that I need to be at. I'd like to thank the Vice Chancellor of SRM University, as well as the person in charge of international relations, and all of the other very prestigious people and esteemed people sitting in the audience. Radhe Shamji, who joined us online, and all the various other organizations that have sent esteemed representatives to be a part of Aadigyan. As part of Project Samskriti, I'm looking forward very much to participating in SRM University's activities as part of Aadigyan. And before I leave, I'd like to welcome all of you to join us online, on TV, in person, whichever way is possible, for you all to join us on this wonderful night of Mahashivratri, which happens on March 1st this year. Thank you very much to all the organizers and all of the esteemed panelists who have been with me this morning. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Srimati Radhe Jaggiji. It was wonderful to have you here. And Isha Foundation has always been inspiring to many of us, including me. We are always in awe of the programs that are initiated, the initiatives that are initiated, be it for the cause of arts or humanity. We look forward to collaborate with you, Project Sanskriti, enlarge very soon, and we'll be looking forward to it. Thank you again for joining us today. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Now, I would like to call Manaswini for presenting us with a few. Okay.
కోయిలా కోయిలా పాడవే తీయగా పరిమళాచార్యుని బుధజనా రాజువి పదములే శరణని బాధల మూగనోముల బాధలేదని రాఘవేంద్ర రాఘవేంద్ర అన్న చాలని గురురాయా కావవే మహనీయా బ్రోవవే అని అంటూ వేడుకుంటే ఆదరించే వాడని కోయిలా కోయిలా పాడవే తీయగా పరిమళాచార్యుని బుధజనారాజువి పదములే శరణని పొందవే సుఖమని శుభమని ఈ జగాన ఇంతకన్నా దైవమేదని చేరగానే జాలి తీర్చే స్వామి తానని గురురాయా పాహి మాం స్మరణీయా రక్షమా అని అంటూ వేడుకుంటే ఆలకించే వాడని కోయిలా కోయిలా పాడవే తీయగా పరిమళాచార్యుని బుధజనారాజువి పదములే శరణని పొందవే సుఖమని శుభమని కోయిలా కోయిలా పాడవే తీయగా. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
That was very melodious, Manaswini. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to introduce you all to the National Director in the world-renowned Art of Living organization, Sri Rajiv Nambiar. Being a qualified engineer with a master's degree in yoga, he has played multiple roles, including CEO of Sri Publications Trust, CEO and editor, Srimuk Magazine, and director, Vyakti Vikas Kendra, India. He also led several projects on the field, from strategizing to execution of social welfare projects in the field of education, youth, empowerment, and environment. After being a part of the fashion magazine El Official, he moved to work with the Reliance Industries and 2020 Media. He has been on the advisory board on a few startups focusing on branding, design, and communication. He was one of the founders of Aranyam Trust, which used to bring out an annual environmental film festival. He has also been a part of the organizing committee of several conferences like Security Byte and Uncommon Sense Wellness. In addition, he has conducted several seminars and wellness programs in reputed institutions across the country. Inspired and mentored by Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar Sir, he spreads the wisdom and techniques via programs and workshops with faith that the inner transformation of individual with yoga and meditation, one can excel in all aspects of life. With his humorous persona, Rajiv Sir has inspired, nurtured, and impacted the lives of thousands in this journey so far. Yet, he feels like a constant learner. What an inspiring journey, right? I would like to welcome Sri Rajiv Nambiar Sir to deliver his talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you and good morning to everyone. Before I start to speak on this initiative, I would like you to see a small video of the art of living, and then we will move forward.
In an era when ancient wisdom was buried under years of ritualistic practices, when games became wars and wars were played like games, a young boy was found in deep meditation in a quaint village in South India known as Ravi Shankar. He would say, "I have family everywhere. People are waiting for me." He astonished his teachers by reciting the Bhagavad Gita at a tender age of 4. With his education in Vedic literature and physics and his deep and profound knowledge of the spiritual world, he became one of the most prominent sages of the modern world. All through his life, he has been reviving ancient knowledge and creating tools and techniques that have benefited millions across the globe in living a deeper and a more joyous life. In 1981, the Art of Living was established by Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Nurtured by his care and contribution, the Art of Living has rapidly grown across 156 countries, reaching over 450 million people. One of Gurudev's most unique offerings to the world is the Sudarshan Kriya, a powerful breathing technique that facilitates physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. He has designed 57 exclusive courses that empower individuals and cater to the needs of a wide spectrum of institutions in the society. Back then, Gurudev started the Art of Living service projects by taking responsibility of reviving a sinking school which had no funds. Today, his intention has manifested in over 702 free schools, which provides education and food to more than 80,000 children in rural and tribal parts of India. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Art of Living Foundation pioneered the I Stand With Humanity initiative, providing more than 80 million meals to the daily wage earners in over 170 cities across India. The service initiative during the pandemic included the distribution of 6,000 tons of food to 5 million families. It helped set up 7 COVID care hospitals and provided with over 200,000 PPE kits. Trauma relief programs were also conducted for more than 1 million migrant laborers and COVID warriors to bring mental relief. To combat the fear, stress, and anxiety during such times, Gurudev launched the World Meditates campaign and also personally conducted online guided meditations twice daily, touching the lives of millions by bringing solace and keeping the hope alive. From childhood, Gurudev had immense faith in the principle of non-violence. With escalating violence and conflict in the world, Gurudev has brought peace in situations where war seemed like the only solution. Thousands of militants and Naxalites laid down their weapons and chose meditation in the northeast and other parts of India.
এই সংগ্ৰামখনত আমি সফল হ'ব নোৱাৰিলোঁ লাষ্টত গম পালোঁ যে সশস্ত্ৰ সংগ্ৰামৰ জৰিয়তে আমি জাতীয় মুক্তি সংগ্ৰামত জয়ী হ'ব নোৱাৰিম।
His efforts include bringing an end to a 52-year-old fierce conflict between the FARC and the Colombian government.
Ojalá podamos los colombianos abrazar pronto el principio gandiano de la no violencia. Coincidimos con el maestro Shankar.
Gurudev has visited Iraq several times and addressed peace conferences to bring respite to the nation and its citizens. He has hosted a series of trust-enhancing interventions in Jammu and Kashmir, providing all the stakeholders to voice their opinions in an effort to restore peace in the valley.
I was named Muhammad, but after becoming a militant, I was called Khalid. We had been taught to operate guns, arms, and train other youths. But now, after doing the Art of Living course and meeting Sri Sri, we realized we had chosen the wrong path. We now want to spread love and non-violence in Kashmir.
Gurudev's programs have impacted people involved in armed conflicts across the world, making him a global ambassador of peace.
We gather today in this wonderful occasion of tolerance, blessed by our Master of Love.
Gurudev strongly believes that behind every culprit, there is a victim crying for help. The Art of Living prison program is helping to rehabilitate the prisoners. It has reached out to over 800,000 prisoners globally and has brought immense transformation in their lives.
I used to actually look forward to fights. But now since doing this course, I'm a total different person. I can now walk away from a fight.
The Art of Living's Welcome Home Troops project has transformed lives and brought veterans out of aggression and depression. 94% of these veterans who were suffering from the unseen wounds of war reported peace of mind and reduced stress and anxiety levels. The Art of Living has also been working towards the betterment of the environment. 48 rivers and thousands of water bodies in India have been revived. Conducted more than 100,000 cleanliness drives. Planted over 81 million trees in 36 countries. More than 2.2 million farmers have been trained to adopt natural farming till date. Gurudev found the Shri Shri Rural Development Program Trust to empower rural India. Volunteers have developed thousands of model villages across India, providing solar energy to over 90,000 individuals under Light a Home project. Gurudev's vast global network of volunteers is well known for mobilizing trauma and disaster relief for the affected populations around the world. In a world torn apart by religious, social, national and cultural divides, Gurudev's vision is to see the whole world as one family. The World Culture Festival. The festival brought together over 3.75 million people from 155 countries with spectacular performances on a breathtaking 7-acre stage equivalent to 6 football fields by 36,602 dancers and musicians from around the globe, celebrating the diversity of all faiths and cultures. The Art of Living has hosted historic events leading to multiple Guinness World Records.
If you can have a mind of a scientist and a spiritual force of His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji gives, then we have a beautiful world and happy world and prosperous world.
And organizing a meeting no politician on earth could ever dream of.
The Art of Living Foundation. For 25 years it worked on programs promoting peace, combating violence and drug addiction, empowering our youth. It has an incredible following that cuts through all religions, cultures, and backgrounds. A very, very difficult thing to do in today's world.
Gurudev has been conferred with numerous awards around the globe, including the highest civilian award of Colombia, Mongolia, and Paraguay. The Padma Vibhushan, one of India's highest civilian award, and 23 honorary doctorates globally. His vision for the world is to see a smile on every face and create a stress-free and violence-free society.
The voice of peace, the voice of truth should be heard loud and clear.
Thank you. There was a time when, I'm happy today because world is ready to and open to diversities. At a time when the Art of Living started 41 plus years ago, when we spoke about yoga, people would say, oh, yoga, it's meant for somebody old, somebody who needs to be getting into a space where they want spirituality, they're done with their life. But today it's not that. Everybody wants yoga. The United Nations has recognized June 21st as World Yoga Day. So now what I'm trying to say is there is diversity and diversity. Gurudev says something very beautiful. He says the world is beautiful because it is diverse. And diversity is the beauty of creation. There is no one type of fish. There is no one type of potato. In fact, there are so many varieties of fruits and vegetables and plants around. God, if God wanted all of us to have only one brinjal or one lady finger, we would have been eating that all our life. But God loves diversity. So there are so many types of trees around. When I move around in my ashram, there are so many types of trees. So we have 700 types of rice itself in this country. So many types of wheat. In the Art of Living ashram itself, there are about 80 varieties of butterflies, 70 plus varieties of flowers, about 141 varieties of birds. So this universe, this creation is all about diversity. Whether it is religion, or it is food, or it is species of fish or cows, we have to protect diversity. Because diversity is the basis of existence. In the divine, in the Vedas, it is said the divine says, I am one, but I become many. That same one is manifested as many. Why in many? Because everyone has a chance to experience that bliss. To experience that bliss of one, I become many. So in this country, diversity is celebrated. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar often says, tolerance is a negative word. What do you tolerate? You tolerate something that you do not like. But when you love diversity, it's no longer tolerance. It is celebration of the diversity. So in this great country, diversity is praised. And it has been the lifeline of our Vedic tradition, the Vedic culture. Gurudev often says the beautiful mantra for cultural integration is broaden your vision and deepen your roots. So today, as I am in the ashram, thousands and thousands of people have already come to celebrate Shivratri, which is about 4 days on the 1st of March. When my days of school, people talk about Shivratri, it was just another day off from school. But today, Shivratri is seen as a day of celebration. Shiva is not a person. Shiva is not just one being. Shiva is the Shiva Tattva, is that which encompasses everything. We are happy to collaborate with SRM University on this initiative. And so I would like to congratulate VC Sir, Professor V.S. Rao, the entire university for bringing this initiative to life. There is so much to learn from this tradition and so much to imbibe. So Art of Living has been teaching so many programs over the years and bringing about this transformation through the ancient techniques of yoga and meditation. With SRM University also, we have programs on ancient wisdom and the Upanishads, the ancient science of yoga, the chakras, the meditation techniques and its benefits, the Ayurveda and the understanding. So as we go along, we will diverse and we will increase more into this repertoire of programs. So I would once again like to congratulate SRM University and all of us here who have gathered to celebrate this diversity. Thank you, one and all. Namaste.
Thank you, Shri Rajiv Nambiarji. It was wonderful listening to you. As you have rightly mentioned, diversity, that is the very essence of India, diversity, and that is a unique quality of India. It is very important that we understand, we respect our diversity, and diversity in all forms, especially the culture, the art, the food, is all that we want to bring to the limelight and share with all the audiences across the globe through this event or through this initiative of Aadigyan. I once again thank Art of Living and you on behalf of SRM University for joining hands with us and partnering with us in this very initiative of Aadigyan. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Good day.
Now, I would like to introduce the next notable, the director of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, R.K. Mutt. Inspired by the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda during his school days, he joined the Ramakrishna Order in Bangalore in 1984 and was initiated into monastic vows in 1993. After initial training, he served the mission in Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, and Chennai between 1989 and 2010, and he is serving the Ramakrishna Order as the director of the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence since May 2010. He has so far conducted about 1,105 workshops and seminars covering about 6 lakh students, teachers, managers, and others on human excellence, management, personality development, and life-giving message of Swami Vivekananda and Indian cultural values in several states in the country since the last 15 years. Being the director of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, he has taken the initiative to recognize and appreciate the leadership qualities among the youth and has trained nearly 5,000 on character building and service to the country. Thank you for taking the time to attend this event, sir. Now, I would like to call Swami Bodhamayananda over to you, sir.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. A selfless universal prayer for the well-being and health of all people. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Sarvastaratu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarvasad buddhima apnotu, sarvas sarvatra nandatu. May all be happy, may all be peaceful, may all be free from difficulties, diseases, dangers. May all see what is good, may all listen what is good, may all speak what is good, may all do what is useful to others. May all be enlightened everywhere, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be free from suffering everywhere, personal, social, family, etc., etc. Let there be peace within me, let there be peace around the world, in all my brothers and sisters, and in the entire nature. Namaskars, greetings, and good wishes. My prayer to the respected management of SRM, the director, the vice chair, the vice chancellor, the faculty members, the coordinators, the students, everybody. My good wishes to all of you on this very historic occasion, very important occasion, and a thrilling occasion of Aadigyan's inauguration. At the outset, I thank and offer my greetings to the coordinator and vice chancellor and others for collaborating with us, the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, a branch, a unit of Ramakrishna Mutt in Hyderabad, which has been in existence since the last 22 years. So we have a series of programs, and I would like to just tell you a story before I go forward. Is why this human excellence, why this Institute of Human Excellence, specially labeled with Swami Vivekananda as the leader. So it was sometime in February 1897, 125 years ago. Some of you may be knowing that Vivekananda returned to India and stayed in Chennai for 9 days, inspiring the entire nation towards the freedom movement and to make India once again the Punya Bhumi and the what you call the a smiling India, which was under stress and strain for so many years. So having known about Swami Vivekananda's personality and greatness and his sweep across the world, some young students from Calcutta, from Madras University, which was nearby where he was staying, they asked him a question. Oh, Swami, you conquered America, you conquered Europe, you conquered even the English people by yoga, Vedanta, Bhakti, Dhyana, etc. And here in India, we are suffering under the British. Can't you get us freedom? Straight came Swami Vivekananda's answer. Yes, I can give you freedom tomorrow, but where are the men to preserve that freedom? He asked. These young boys, college students, maybe postgraduate, they bent their head. They could not answer. Where are the men? Kaha hai manush? हिंदी में जो बोलेगा, हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि जो मन में खुश है वो मानुष है, नहीं तो zombie hai, just a dead body walking. So the spirit in man, the power in man, the ideology in man, the philosophy of man, we had lost, unfortunately, due to historical reasons. So he said, where are the men? Where are the men? Give me a handful of men and I shall shake the world. And Swamiji said, yes, I can give you freedom tomorrow. But we need men and women of training, of excellence, of human excellence. How do you translate human excellence? Shrestha Purusha, not just a good man or a good girl or a good boy. A certificate is given, he is just good. But here is excellence that is manifested, the divinity which is manifested, the perfection that is manifested, which education is, which religion is. So, but Swamiji said, Swamiji means here Vivekananda said, had prophesied, he had the far sight and the foresight, and said, I'm seeing something, I'm not just saying. India shall be free in the next 50 years, but that freedom shall come under some unforeseen circumstances. 1897, 1947, and that Amrita Mahotsav we are celebrating today. But the freedom came under some unforeseen circumstances with the nation's partition, which we are suffering even today after 75 years. The question remained, where are men? Great institutions have come in the last 75 years, and SRM is one of them in Chennai, and later on in the bifurcated state of Andhra Pradesh. We are very happy that this particular Aadigyan is being initiated by the university, technical university for all practical purposes. This is a very sensitive subject, a very human subject, a very important subject. And then for the answer, as a response to Swami Vivekananda's question, where are men? 22 years ago, on September 10th, 2000, the then president of the Ramakrishna Order, with some of the senior members in the audience may be knowing, Srimad Swami Ranganathanandaji was a world-conquering personality in his own way. He said, we need a training center. We need to train men and women of character, men and women of values deeply rooted in Indian culture, Indian traditions, Indian dharma, the Sanatana Dharma. It is not just a computer programmer or an industrialist or a cardiologist or a computer analyst or anybody in profession in which India needs, with the world is looking after. Whether it's science, whether it's medical, whether it's agriculture, whether it's any other field. But what we need is men and women of excellence. Men and women, tremendous character, tremendous patriotism, tremendous dedication. And Swami Vivekananda himself was embodiment of that Indian cultural values, as some of you might have read his biography and the lectures which he gave in India and in other parts of the country. And in one place, when we are speaking about the Indian cultural values, when we are speaking about the traditions of India, the stories of India, the Puranas of India, which I'm sure many of the students will be joining, both the Indian brothers and sisters and people coming from abroad into SRM University. I would like to read out a reminiscence, a memoir of what Swami Vivekananda represented. How we are in Ramakrishna Math in the Institute of Human Excellence, we are taking this forward from a schoolboy to a postgraduate student. We have 26 topics other than the yoga and meditation, which can churn out their mind, which can purify their mind. Today we talk about recycling plastic, recycling water, recycling garbage, recycling paper, but hardly we find institutions which talk about recycling the mind, purifying the emotions. As a result, if you don't do that, you are in for chaos. You're in for tremendous loss, tremendous pain in the society, in the institutions, in the schools, colleges, in the families. Here is a reminiscence by Sister Christine, a school teacher in Detroit. She was from Germany, who had migrated and settled in America. Her actual name was Christine Greenstedel, who was working for the kindergarten school children in Detroit at that time, when Vivekananda was speaking about Indian culture, Vedanta, yoga, etc.
She heard Vivekananda for the first time when she was just about 24, 25 years old. The first lecture in Detroit, in the town hall. She feels that a paradigm shift in her value system, in her love for the nation. She says, our love for India came to birth, I think, when we first heard him, Swami Vivekananda, say the word India in that marvelous voice of his. It seems incredible that so much could have been put into one small word of 5 alphabets. There was love, passion, pride, longing, adoration, tragedy, chivalry, and again love. Whole volumes could not have produced such a feeling in others. It had the magic power of creating love in those who heard it. Ever after, India became the land of heart's desire. Everything concerning her became of interest. It became living. You see, it's not just the buildings. It is not just the infrastructure that we talk about today. You may live in a hut, but you are full of that Indianness. You are full of that value system. Somebody said, I'm condensed Indian. So look at the sweep of the man. This is what we try to imbibe, absorb, meditate, and say to the youngsters, to the younger generation. This is that real India which we are aiming for. Ever after India became the land of heart's desire, it became living. Our people, our history, architecture, our manners and customs, our rivers, mountains, plains, our culture, our great spiritual concepts, our scriptures became living. And so began a new life, a life of study, a life of meditation. The center of interest was shifted from America to India. And Sister Christine comes down 8,000 miles from America and walks in the streets of Calcutta along with Sister Nivedita and spreads the message of Indian cultural values. Swamiji said, this is the type of youngsters India wants or Mother India wants to see her children working for the mother. So as far as agriculture is concerned, music is concerned, and the meditation per se, the Vedanta, the yoga, the scriptures, it all becomes living when we share these powerful thoughts in beautiful parables. And I would like to just share, apart from the Indian cultural values, the Vyaktitva Vikas that we should strive for. Vyaktitva Vikas is not just the personality development of speaking good English or a good career, etc. The truth in man has to be discovered. Vyakti plus Tattvam is Vyaktitva. The Vikas, the unfoldment, the development of that is what we have. The manifestation of the perfection already in man. 26 qualities or 24 qualities to be precise. Go back to the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is called the Daivasura Sampatti Bhaga Yoga, where Krishna says in the first 3 shlokas is what we have to strive for. Along with music, along with meditation, along with yoga, the Daivi Sampatti, spiritual values. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Gnana Yoga Vyavasthi, etc. etc. It's not time for that elaborate talk for this kind of. When we have the courses, we will share with all your students and the faculty members to relive that consciousness, to relive that inner spirit of India. So Swamiji, once I would like to end with and line my presentation with this story, an incident rather. He was coming back to India from America, and one of his own disciples who called herself, I'm the friend of Swami Vivekananda, she asked Swamiji, you have given us so much of Vedanta, so much of yoga in new life. And she was the daughter of a multi-millionaire of America at the time, Mr. MacLeod, a business magnate. And she said, oh Swami, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? What Guru Dakshina I can give you? Then, Swamiji said with a pause, dear Joe, for short, dear Joe, if you want to do something for me, love India. That's all. No other word, no other adjectives, no other sentence. Full stop. Love India. This lady had in the back of her mind, if Swami asked me dollars, I'm ready to give. He asked me gadgets for India, I'm ready to give. He asked me to do something for India, I'm ready to. Swami, is that all what you want? Love India? Swami Vivekananda responded back, "Dear Joe, I have asked everything. Nothing is left behind. Love India." And for the next 45 years, believe me, dear friends, respected faculty members and others, she gave her life for India, which even I cannot think of. She used to stay for 6 months in India, traveling all alone at that time, British Raj, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to Northeast. And 6 months she used to travel in the world to tell about India, to tell about Vedanta, to tell about her Guru Swami Vivekananda. She meets Leo Tolstoy in Russia and talks to him about India and gives him Raja Yoga books about Vivekananda to him. Tolstoy, sir, the great Leo Tolstoy read it and said, "I wish I would have met this man." Swamiji had thoughts of going to Russia to spread Indian culture at that time. Not this present violent Russia in war, but the Russia of the olden time. He said, "I would go and meet that great man." But due to cold circumstances, he could not travel. He came back to India. But Tolstoy read the books of Vivekananda and said, "My thoughts and this man's thoughts are all familiar. They're working in the same frequency." So in that way, I'm not going into the details. So I'm very proud, very happy, very thrilled to participate in this Aadigyan festival. It's like a celebration for us to revive, to rejuvenate, and to recreate the great Indian cultural values from the Vedic times till modern times, the unseen India, the neglected India. No, let us polish it, let us divinize it, and make the vision and mission of the great masters of India, and in modern times, Swami Vivekananda and other great gurus like Ravi Shankar ji and Sadhguru ji, etc., and the Brahma Kumaris and so many other wonderful colleagues in this great saga of Indianness and Indian conscience. Let India teach the world with spirituality, with Vedanta, and we wish and convey my greetings to everybody participating in the Adi Yajna, and see that this particular courses will be of great benefit and inspiration to all. Thank you, namaste, and greetings to all.
Thank you so much, sir, for those valuable words. And thank you for enlightening us with the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. We are privileged to collaborate with you. Here we have the next dignitary, the founder and chairman of Nityanjali Group, Dr. Tushar Guha. He is an eminent corporate trainer, psychologist, and educationist, and the personality development pioneer in India. With over 32 years of in-depth research and professional experience, he made history in the year 2000 when he became the first doctorate in personality development in the world from United States. With a graduate in English literature, master's degree in economics, doctorate in psychology and personality development, Dr. Tushar Guha is also an entrepreneur with his own printing and publishing press. With his passion for personality development and positive communication, he initiated Nrityanjali, the Institute of Performing Arts, Education, Personality Development, Management Services at the age of 15 years. He is a brilliant orator and a great presenter, an exponent in Indian classical dance, Indian folk dance, and Western dance. He is also an actor, singer, dubbing artist, music composer, and director of plays and a poet. Dr. Tushar Guha received critical acclaim and has performed in more than 3,500 shows all over the world. He is a celebrity judge for programs with Doordarshan and Sahetri TV. He is also an active social worker and works with the numerous institutions for poor, handicapped, homeless, as well as cancer and AIDS patients. A leader by actions more than mere words. He was given a certificate of appreciation for courage by the Bombay Police Commissioner in 1990 for defusing a crowd of 400 rioters single handedly. He is a recipient of the Rajiv Gandhi Avantika Lifetime Achievement Award, New Delhi, for excellence in education, and Lifetime Achievement Award for outstanding contribution to education by the All India Achievers Foundation, New Delhi. It was an uplifting journey, sir. I would like to invite Dr. Tushar Guha. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar and greetings. It is such a beautiful feeling, such a bright feeling that Aadigyan is being launched. The devotees of performing arts and education, the devotees of Indian traditions and culture, our sanskaram, have joined hands to create Aadigyan, to share this intense knowledge and power and to spread the fragrance across the globe. I understand that Aadigyan is not stopping only at spreading the fragrance, but will create strong individuals who will not only cherish the richness of our traditions, but will practice, share, and create global awareness. With many such strong and enlightened individuals, the community of mankind will experience harmony, joy, and bliss. This is collective individual growth and collective leadership. Nityanjali feels blessed that we are members of this great journey where ecstasy of spirituality will be experienced. Spirituality is not religion, it is understanding and respect, compassion, but not pity and sympathy. Aadigyan is conceptualized with a purpose which is purposeful. I would like to recite a Sanskrit shloka. It goes like this. Vritha vrishti samudreshu, vritha triptasa bhojanam, vritha danam samarthasa, vritha dipadiva picha. Vahanti vashanti nadanti bhati dhyanti nittanti samashvasanti nadyodana madgajaha anantaha vihinaha shikhinaha pravalgraha. The first four lines, vritha vrishti samudreshu, means the sea does not need rain. Vritha triptasa bhojanam, the well-fed need not be donated food. Then the rich need not be donated money, and the day does not need a candle. That is, we need to serve, but the service to the deserving. Let the purpose be purposeful. Vahanti vashanti nadanti bhati explains the spontaneity with which we need to serve, just the way the rivers flow, the winds blow in nature. But we shall not lose our own dignity, our own pride. Pride, just like the elephant and the peacock, when they walk, the kind of dignity they exude. We shall serve mankind through performing arts, through all other educational channels, but shall not lose our own identity, be proud of our own traditions, of our own beliefs, of our own culture. Aadigyan through performing arts will elevate us to cherish our inner bliss. I seek the blessings of the Almighty to give us the capacity and wisdom to serve and with complete devotion and be purposeful for the purpose for which Aadigyan is being launched. Congratulations to all of us. Together we shall do it. Thank you so much and namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. And now we are going to watch the promo again of Aadigyan.
Namaste. Our Indian culture refers to the way of life of people of India. Indian languages, religion, dance, music, architecture, food, and customs differ from place to place within the country. Here, we SRM AP are introducing Aadigyan. Experience the glory of India. One such initiative to make our deep-rooted, centuries-old, treasured Indian heritage, art and culture to larger audiences around the world. The home of learning, education, evolution, progress, openness, challenges, pain, compassion, and courage. Through Aadigyan, we aim to provide a platform to all knowledge seekers and explorers to quench their interests and passion for rich Indian art and culture.
Moving forward, now I would like to call upon another dignitary from Raja Yoga Education and Research Foundation, Brahma Kumaris. Born in Pune on May 31st, 1972, she had a profound love for science and was a good student. She did her engineering in the software department at Pune University. Before the end of the college, however, she was attending their local Brahma Kumaris center through her mother and got connected to the Brahma Kumaris. She grew up as a renowned motivational speaker and spiritual teacher. She has also appeared on the television series Awakening with Brahma Kumaris in 2007. Recorded on living values, self-management, inner powers, harmony in relationships, understanding the law of karma, healing, self-empowerment, self-discipline about Brahma Kumari's organization. Spirituality in general and art of living, the series benefited people all around the world. She also travels in India and abroad, appearing in Brahmakumari events and charitable events ranging from the promotion of organ donation to parenting programs. In 2017, she was named as a Goodwill Ambassador of the World Psychiatric Association. She is none other than the well-known Brahmakumari Shivani. I would like to welcome her to take forward with her talk. Over to you, ma'am.
Om Shanti and Namaskar. There are three very beautiful words which are connected with each other. It is Sanskar, Sanskriti, and Sansar. Our Sanskars create our culture, and our culture creates our world. So when we talk about the culture of Bharat, it actually reflects our Sanskars, the innate nature of every soul. And therefore, Aadigyan, the word itself means the eternal, the original, wisdom. The wisdom, which is the innate quality of the soul. Living in times where not just the elderly, but a large population of the youth and children are talking about emotional health issues and mental health issues, and have also started accepting them as normal. When we start expecting and we start accepting that all these turbulences that are going on in our mind as normal, it's time for a shift. It's a time for a shift because then we've started accepting emotional disease as normal. And that is why the sanskars and the Sanskriti of Bharat are going to play an extremely pivotal role, not just in Bharat, but for the world. Because the eternal and the original equations that were taught in Bharat, like today children grow up learning the equations of science, the equations of maths. These are fundamental equations based on which inventions, discoveries, technologies, and everything is created based on simple equations. Similarly, there are some very simple equations, but they are the equations of the inner world. Today, we're well equipped with the equations of the outer world, and everything we create comes out from those equations. But there are some equations of the inner world, which are the Aadigyan of Bharat. One such equation is Sankalp se Srishti, which means our thoughts create our world. The other is Sankalp se Siddhi, which means thoughts manifest, they become a reality. The third is Sanskar se Sansar. Our sanskar, our nature creates our world. Even if we had to look at just these three simple equations, Sankalp se Srishti, Sankalp se Siddhi, and Sanskar se Sansar. Very simple, and yet most of us don't live by these equations. And because we are not living our life on the fundamental original equations of the soul, we are not living our lives based on the spiritual laws. And that is why experiences in life are different from what they're meant to be. We are seeking happiness, we are seeking love, we're seeking peace, whereas those are our Adi original sanskars. The Adi sanskars of every soul are purity, love, peace, bliss, wisdom, happiness. These are our original sanskars. So how is it that we forgot our Adi sanskars, our original sanskars? Because we forgot the original equation. So today we are living our lives saying, depending on what's happening around me, that's how I feel. So we went the other way around. Instead of my thoughts create the world, we're living by the equation the world creates my thoughts. What will happen when we completely reverse an equation? When an equation is reversed, which means an equation is incorrect, we will not get the results that we want in life. So everybody wants happiness, everybody wants love, and yet most of us are living with stress, anxiety, fear, and we have accepted it and we are calling it normal. Today we've started calling depression normal. So really the time has come for us to revisit, revise, and start living by our original spiritual equations. And so the first one in that is Sankalp se Srishti banti hai, which means the thoughts create our world. Irrespective of what's happening around me, whatever may be the situation, whatever is the stimulus, whatever may be a person's behavior, I am the creator of my thoughts. The situation is not creating my thought. Today, if every child is taught this right from school, that the situation doesn't create my thoughts, it's my thoughts which manifest the situation. One fundamental equation can change the personality of the child, can change the destiny of the child. Because then the child will not live like a victim saying, I'm angry because of, I'm stressed because of, I'm fearful because of COVID. We're blaming situations and people for how we are feeling. So which means we lost the mastery over the self. Swarajya, being the ruler over the self, being the master of our mind and sense organs. We lost it because we become dependent on situations, people, objects, technology for how we are feeling. So we shift from being a master to becoming a victim. We shift from being the ruler to becoming a slave of our own addictions, of our own dependencies. So it's time to shift, and that can only happen by revisiting our original spiritual equations. So let's take a few spiritual equations today. First one is Sankalp se Srishti. So from today onwards, let's practice. Irrespective of whatever is happening around us, we are not going to blame the situation or the person for how we are feeling. We're going to take personal responsibility of my thoughts and feelings. So somebody may not be right to me, may not behave the right way, situation may be extremely tough. I am the creator of my thoughts and feelings. This makes us Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar, self-reliant, emotionally independent. Independent, not dependent. And once we start practicing this equation and becoming Atmanirbhar, emotionally independent, then stress, anxiety, fear, criticism, comparison, jealousy, these will be not a part of our vocabulary. And of course, we wouldn't know what depression is because we become emotionally healthy. So the original sanskars and the wisdom of Bharat has the potential to make each soul emotionally healthy, emotionally fit, and thereby preventing all kinds of mental health issues, which is a crisis right now, not just in the country, but all over the globe. All over the globe, the world is looking for a solution. How do we prevent mental health issues? It is the Adi Sanskars of every soul which is there. Second is Sankalp se Siddhi, thoughts manifest. Again, something that we are not experimenting with. Whatever I want to be here as a person and whatever I want to achieve in what I do, it has to start from a Sankalp. It has to start from a very high vibrational divine thought. It has to start from a blessing that I create for myself. And then I have to repeat and revise that blessing every single day, which the world calls the language and the power of affirmations. But the original word is Sankalp se Siddhi. It manifests. This is our spiritual equation. So we take a Sankalp and then we revise it, reaffirm it repeatedly, many times in a day, and every single day. And very soon we shift to that higher vibrational energy. So even the greeting, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, a word that we all have used very often. At the Brahma Kumaris, we greet each other saying Om Shanti. So the Om Shanti is not just a word, it's an affirmation. It's a sankalp which says, I am a peaceful being. Not I want peace, not I'm looking for peace, I seek peace. I am a peaceful being. And when we keep saying not just saying from here, but saying here, getting it emotionally coded here on the mind, repeating it many times a day with understanding, with experience, Om Shanti, I will shift from saying I am stressed, from experiencing stress, we will shift towards I am peace, I am bliss, I am love, I am happiness. So for this, we need the second spiritual equation, which is Sankalp se Siddhi. Thoughts manifest. And let's use our thoughts carefully, because our thoughts create an internal coding here, and that coding becomes our sanskars, and that sanskars comes out and becomes our reality, becomes a destiny. So that is our second equation which we need to use. Third equation, sanskar se sanskriti se sansar. Look at the sansar today, the world. Everybody is concerned. The world needs to change. And we have a whole list of what needs to change in the world, whether it's emotional health, mental health, physical health, relationships crumbling, environmental health. The United Nations this year has kept the theme, Only One Earth. It's only one Earth, and we're all concerned about the planet. We need to protect our resources. But if we keep taking care of the planet only outwardly, without taking care of our sanskars and emotions, it's incomplete. It's incomplete. The result that we want, we will not be able to manifest, because it is sanskar se sansar. It is sanskar se sansar. So the change will have to be created in the inner environment. Only then will we be able to radiate those vibrations to the planet, create a contented life, and therefore a simplistic, minimal living life, and thereby protect the resources of a planet. Without taking care here, we will not be able to take care of our outer world. It's incomplete. It will not happen. We will keep on putting efforts. We will not get the results because we are not starting from the seed. This is the seed, and the rest is the tree of our life. We need to focus on the seed. And the most important thing, especially for children and youth, and of course all of us, is the content we consume today. The content we consume. If we want to change our sanskars, we will have to check the content we consume, because what we watch, what we read, what we listen is who we become. It's who we become. So in a world where we are so connected to content from all over the world, where we are consuming so much of content throughout the day, this mind is getting cluttered. The sanskars are getting influenced by all the content that we are consuming. Our language, our vocabulary, our belief systems, our thought processes, everything is getting influenced by the content we consume. So to have a university where the content that is being shared with the children is based on spiritual principles, it's going to create a change in the sanskar. But along with that, the children will also need to learn. It's not only what I learn in my course, but it's also what I consume throughout the day from all platforms of media is what's creating my personality. So content is equal to personality, and personality is equal to destiny. So unless we start taking care of what we watch, read, listen, we will not be able to create a destiny of our choice. So it's very important for every child to restrict content consumption and to be careful of the quality we consume. These are very simple spiritual equations, but this is something we all will live our life with and then share it with the world. Share it with the world because that's where the solutions lie. Another very simple equation. Jaisa an, vaisa man, jaisa pani, vaisi vani, which means as is the food I eat, so is my mind, as is the water I drink, so are my words. Today, people say we are what we eat. It means my body is what I eat. And so then I only take care of the nutrients of the food that I am eating. Jaisa an, vaisa man. It is not jaisa an, vaisa tan. It is not your body is what you eat. It is your mind is what you eat. Your mind is what you eat. And we know this. We know this. Everybody in Bharat knows this. We know the power of food on the mind, but we need to live it. We need to live it. So we need to experiment with a life where we are eating a high vibrational diet, not just a high nutritional diet, but a high vibrational diet, experimenting with a plant-based diet cooked in high vibrational energy. High vibrational energy, which means in the university or at homes, in the kitchen, there should be high vibrational words playing in the kitchen. Our hymns, our bhajans, our puja, it should be playing in the kitchen so that every morsel in the kitchen is getting energized, just like it happens in the temple, in the gurdwara, in the masjid. All the food gets energized in the ashram, in the meditation center. Food is energized. It has a deep impact on the mind. Shifting from a culture which is getting very used to eating out, shifting from a culture which is getting used to ordering food. So it's not just a plant-based diet, but home-cooked, self-cooked in high vibrational diet. It will change the sanskars of the person eating. It will change the sanskars of the person eating. The water of the city has the vibrations of the city. If there's pain, stress, anxiety in the city, so it is in my food and water. Just before we eat, we were taught like we were children, that we were taught to take a pause. Take a pause before we eat. Connect to the divine and say those high energy words into our food and water. How many of us do that before every meal? How many of us do that before every meal? So to use that equation, Jaisa an, Vaisa man, I am what I eat, not my body is what I eat. I am what I eat. So we will experiment with a plant-based diet, home-cooked food, cooked with high vibrational energy in the kitchen, no screens while eating. So children will practice that. No screens while eating, no phone, no TV while eating. And fifth, just before eating, take a 10-second pause. Take a 10-second pause. Connect to the divine. Silence your mind and say those high energy words into your food and water, changing the energy of the food and water, energizing the food and water, and thereby energizing our mind and healing our body. Very, very simple equations, but these simple equations are our fundamental spiritual equations. So this is the Aadigyan of Bharat. This is the Aadigyan of Bharat. And this is Gyan which we all know, but now we're going to start living it. One is knowing and the other is implementing what we know. So spiritual principles, we all know, we've grown up with them, but to start living them, becoming an embodiment of them and becoming an ambassador of that Adi Gyan, becoming a sample and example for the world, radiating our vibrations to the world. Very soon, people from all over the world are going to come to study in Bharat. That is certain. Like it used to happen a few hundred years back, people came to study in the universities of Bharat. Today, a lot of children in Bharat say, oh, but I want to leave Bharat and go out and study. It's going to change very soon. It's going to change very soon. People from all over the world will want to come to Bharat to study because Bharat will teach not just science and maths of the outer world, but Bharat will teach how to take care of the inner world, which is a need by the entire world right now. So the whole platform of all of us being connected together is about bringing back these spiritual equations, living them, sharing them with the children, but also radiating them into the collective vibration of the world. Thank you so much. Shukriya. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Srimati B.K. Shivani ma'am. It is so delightful to listen to you as always. We fall short of words to appreciate your work, your teachings, and your philosophy, which has impacted many at large. We have certainly learned a lot, and you have certainly awakened many of us here and elsewhere. I must sincerely thank and appreciate you for sparing your time and thoughts with us on this occasion of launch of Aadigyan. We sincerely express our deepest gratitude to Brahma Kumaris for collaborating with SRM AP to offer courses on value education, holistic health, and spirituality, and many more. Thank you so much, ma'am, and Brahma Kumaris on behalf of entire SRM family. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to invite Dr. Revant Vikram Singh, Director of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, High Commission India, Colombo, Sri Lanka. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. His Excellency Shri Kishan Reddy ji, Honorable Minister of Culture, Government of India, and the chief guest of today's program, Honorable President, SRM University, Andhra Pradesh, Honorable Vice Chancellor ji, special invitee, Srimati Radhe Jaggi ji from Isha Foundation, Shri Swami Bodh Amyananda ji from Ramakrishna Mutt, Shri Radheshyam ji from ISKCON, Shri Pratiksha Kashi ji, the eminent Kuchipudi dancer, Shri Rajiv Nambiar ji from the Art of Living, Srimati Shivani ji from Brahma Kumaris, my colleague Mrs. Jennifer for Secretary Trade, Tourism and Culture, High Commission of India, Ghana, Ms. Goli Gabbe ji from Health and from Nityanjali, Srimati Himanshi ji, the eminent artist representing the temple dance forms of India, distinguished professors, scholars, staff of SRM University, and respected parents, guardians, and my dear students. Aiboon, Namaste from Sri Lanka. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to join you all in this auspicious inauguration ceremony of Indian Immersion Program, Aadigyan, highlighting the cultural and knowledge tradition of India, organized by the International Relations and Higher Studies Office of SRM University, Andhra Pradesh. Friends, one of the core sense of Indian civilization has been its never-ending drive to seek knowledge and wisdom. India was home to the world's oldest universities that were the center for higher education and cultural exchange in ancient times, where discussions and deliberations were rooted in logic and they constituted academic traditions of India. In the ancient world, where warfare was an essential feature of ancient civilizations, India gave the message of Shanti, that is peace, and Ahimsa, that is non-violence. Such philosophical traditions form the basis of Indian cultural and spiritual thoughts. And such thoughts are today recognized by the whole world as the one which can unite the universe. It is India which gave the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, world is one family, to the world. Indians also believed in the importance of knowledge and education for a civilization to progress. And it is because of these priorities that India had some of the world's ancient universities such as Pushpagiri, Nalanda, Takshila, Vikramshila, Vallabhi, etc. Students from all over the country and different parts of the world studied and lived there. For instance, Nalanda University had as many as 8,500 students and 1,500 teachers. It speaks volumes about the fame and the popularity of the institutions of learning in ancient India. At some universities, as many as 100 lectures were conducted in a day. The academic standards were very high, and it was not easy to gain admission into such universities. This might surprise you, but Takshila flourished several centuries before the University of Alexandria and Constantinople, which were not even existing at that point in time. It is believed that Takshila functioned from 600 BCE to 500 CE. Such universities became a melting pot of cultures as students used to come there from far countries. Many influential Indian scholars composed their epoch-making work at such universities. For instance, Kautilya wrote Arthashastra, an ancient Indian treatise on economic policy and military strategy during his teaching tenure at Takshila University. Maharishi Charak also composed his medical treatise Charak Samhita there. The revered Sanskrit scholar and grammarian Panini also taught at Takshila. He produced his best work called Ashtadhyayi, the 8 chapters at Takshila, which was a complex rule-based grammar book of Sanskrit that survives even today. Similarly, at Vikramshila University, It is stated that it had 6 different affiliated colleges, with each one imparting a different specialization. Subjects such as Sanskrit grammar, logic, metaphysics, philosophy, astronomy, astrology, and theology were taught. It is believed that it was at Vikramshila where the culture of awarding degrees and recognitions were first started in the whole world. The titles of Mahapandit and Pandit were accorded as per merit to those who completed their education. It is important to note that these universities not only received royal patronage, but were also supported by the local community, particularly the village community. These universities also had astonishing libraries. Some scholars highlight that when Nalanda University was ransacked, its library continued to burn for 3 months. This highlights the number of manuscripts such libraries were possessing at that point in time. You may kindly note that the printing press was not even discovered at that time. So the libraries mainly and only had manuscripts which were handwritten. Subjects such as statesmanship, economics, bookkeeping, business, agriculture, mathematics were also taught at Indian universities. Brahmagupta was among the most celebrated astronomers of Ujjaini University, who continued the tradition of Varamira and made significant contribution to mathematics. He worked on trigonometrical formula, quadratic equations, area of cyclic quadrilateral arithmetic progression, and he also improved Aryabhata's sine tables. In his treatise, Brahmasput Siddhant, he was the first to treat zero as a number of its own right, rather than as a simply placeholder digit. He established basic mathematical rules for dealing with zero, such as 1 plus 0 is equal to 1, 1 minus 0 is equal to 1, 1 into 0 is 0. Brahmagupta's work reached the court of Khalifa at Mansur in Baghdad and played a path-breaking role in making the Arabs conversant with Indian astronomy and mathematics. Later, this knowledge was transmitted to Europe. The tradition of Brahmagupta was continued by Bhaskar II, also called Bhaskar Acharya, who became the head of the astronomical observatory at Ujjaini University. He wrote the famous Siddhant, Shiromani, and Leelavati. He was hailed as the first mathematician to write a work with full and systematic use of the decimal number system. Bhaskar Acharya is also considered the founder of differential calculus, who applied it centuries before Newton and others in Europe. Then there was this Kanthalur University in Kerala, where subjects such as music was also taught with astronomy, mathematics, etc. And this university also attracted students from Sri Lanka, where I am presently serving. The tradition of Guru Shishya Parampara also flourished parallelly in India over centuries, particularly in the field of metallurgy, art, craft, music, and dance. In modern times, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore founded Shanti Niketan in West Bengal, which attracted students from all over the world. Inspired by Gurudev Tagore, Sri Lankan scholars and philanthropists even founded a similar institution and invited Gurudev to lay its foundation. And it was Gurudev who named it as Sri Pali. Today, it is flourishing as a center of higher education in University of Colombo. Friends, I'm hopeful that such initiatives like Aadigyan would take our knowledge addition to larger sections all over the globe. With these few words, I rest my speech and most humbly thank you all for inviting me today for today's program. May all be healthy, happy and blessed. Thank you. Bhaumastati from Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable inputs and your time. Next, we have Goli Gabe, a speaker, educator, scholar, and innovator in integrative health and wellness. With over 22 years of teaching and clinical experience, she has been at the forefront of combining the healing benefits of yoga, mindfulness, meditation, yoga nidra, and plant-based nutrition with neuroscience in a groundbreaking moment for mental health. A graduate of University of California's Institute of Sustainability and the Environment, Ma'am also has an extensive background designing leading edge environmental programs and public education programs for cities, companies, luxury hotels, and NGOs, including the United Nations Environment Program. She shares her expertise and passion for environmental stewardship in her third program, which inspires mindfulness for the earth. She speaks and leads wellness programs to universities all over the nation and has worked with global organizations, world class athletes and entertainers, MDs, prominent psychological recovery centers, and the royalty. She is dedicated to to helping uplift humanity from the stresses of a fast-paced world. She also redesigns the mind, body, and the nervous system to inspire a new way of living, from anxiety, stress, trauma, and disconnect to serenity, joy, well being, and connection to our highest, most unified selves. Thank you for lending your time for the ceremony, ma'am. Please take up the platform.
Hello, everyone. My name is Goli Gabe, and I'm speaking to you from Los Angeles, California, and I'm very proud to support SRM University's initiative to introduce India's rich culture and philosophy to a global audience. I have been teaching yoga and meditation for over 22 years, and I'm a health and wellness speaker. I've worked with colleges and universities all over the United States. The practice of yoga started in the Indus-Saraswati civilization in northern India over 5,000 years ago. Yoga was slowly developed by the Brahmins, who eventually documented their practices and beliefs in the Upanishads, which has over 200 scriptures. Yoga is primarily a spiritual practice and a subtle science that concentrates on creating harmony between our mind and our body. And according to yogic scriptures, the practice of yoga leads an individual to the union of an inner consciousness with that of a universal consciousness. The incredible benefits of yoga and meditation, which has originated from India, are finally being documented by Western science. Some of the benefits include lowering blood pressure, lowering our heart rate, boosting our immune system, of course, reducing stress and anxiety, its anti-aging effects, and also the impact of yoga and meditation on improving significantly our experience of inner peace and well-being. In fact, scientists in the West and neuroscientists are now documenting the incredible mental benefits of yoga and mindfulness and meditation derived from India on the health of our brain. It has been now shown by neuroscience to significantly increase gray matter in the brain. The gray matter, the positive areas of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, thinking, decision-making, concentration, memory, while shrinking the primitive areas of the brain, the areas of the brain responsible for fear and anxiety. Finally, the West, like I said, science has caught up to documenting all the benefits from this incredible ancient science from India. Personally, I am tremendously grateful for the introduction of yoga into the West and into the United States, because without it, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. When I was 22 years old, I was actually diagnosed with thyroid cancer because in my high school, believe it or not, they had an oil rig which was spewing chemicals in Los Angeles into the environment. And out of desperation to find a healing modality, my mother, who's a PhD in psychology, took me to a private yoga session in the hopes to find some kind of inner healing. There I sat with my teacher dressed in all white with a white beard and a white turban, and we practiced for an hour and a half. And I had probably one of the most profound experiences that I had had to that date of inner healing, of peace, of calm, that despite my diagnosis, I was able to attain such a state of calm and peace and well-being. So I went on to practice very regularly for years to come, for 8 years specifically. And then one day I was at a yoga retreat in New Mexico, on a mountaintop. Everyone, thousands of people from all over the world were there on this mountaintop. We were all wearing white. And during the relaxation, I was laying on the ground with my eyes closed. I had a voice come to me and it told me, "You must teach now." And I was like, "Who are you talking about? Who are you talking to?" "You must teach now," the voice told me. And I took that as a sign after, like I said, diligently practicing for so long. And I went back to Los Angeles and signed up for teacher training. So I completed my teacher training in Los Angeles and it brought me such joy. Even though I had a whole other career, I really had found a new purpose in my life. And I knew that because during the 8 years since my diagnosis and healing from the thyroid cancer, how yoga had helped me create this sense of well-being through a rather difficult process in my life, that I knew that as a teacher, I wanted to help others with the yoga practice, and that's exactly what I did. So with this mission in mind, I went on to teach at UCLA Medical Center, and I helped patients with yoga and meditation and guided relaxation. I went on then to work at psychological rehab centers for about 15 years, where I helped hundreds upon hundreds of people recovering from depression, anxiety, traumas, post-traumatic stress, acute issues. Again, attain healing and well-being through yoga, meditation, mindfulness, and guided relaxation. And more recently, I've taught an array of colleges and universities, and I teach mental health and wellness programs to help students attain well-being and peace and reduce their stress while they're in university. And along the way, I was grateful to share my gifts also with some celebrity clients, and I've even taught royalty. So I am truly grateful for this beautiful practice and science that has come from the Indian heritage, and I will thank on the behalf of the hundreds of people that I've helped in the last 20 years. We are all grateful for this incredible science and art of yoga and practice of yoga and meditation that has originated from the Indian heritage and has touched so many millions of lives now in such incredibly long-lasting, healthful, and positive ways.
Thank you for lending your time for the ceremony, ma'am. Thank you for your great address. It was a pleasure to hear you. Now, we have the founder of the temple dance, Himanshi Katragada. She is an Indian dancer and actress who works in the Kannada film industry. She did her schooling in college in Hyderabad. She started her acting career with Kannada movie Navila Kinnari and made her Telugu debut with Surya Astamayam in 2019. She has got more than 1,000 performances to her credit today, which has earned her many awards and accolades even at the national level. She was awarded the prestigious Balaratna Award by the government of Telangana in 2017 and National Youth Award in the dance category by the government of India in 2018. She even had the privilege to share the stage with iconic dancing exponents in Kuchipudi dance like Dr. Shobha Naidu, Dr. Vempati Ravishankar, and several others. Thank you for spending your time with us, ma'am. I would like to invite Himanshi ma'am to give her talk.
Good morning, everyone. I, Himanshi Katragada, a Kuchipudi dancer and founder of the Temple Dance. I'm so delighted to be part of Aadigyan launch ceremony today. I'm pursuing Kuchipudi art form from 15 years under the guidance of my guru, Sri B. Sudhir Rao Garu. I completed my diploma in Kuchipudi and I took up dance as my full-time profession. As a part of my profession, I had to travel the length and breadth of the world to perform my part of expanding our Indian culture and arts. I feel blessed to be a dancer who can express the mythologies to current scenarios through dance, which creates an impact of understanding on all generations. In recent times, we can see the changes in people turning towards dance, music, and our culture. Even Pratiksha Akka and many respected guests mentioned, our culture is our treasure. From ancient kings, they built beautiful sculptures and architectural grandeur to represent our glorifying India arts and practices. As an Indian, it's our responsibility to protect our valuable assets of enlightening our traditions. As a duty need to be charged, the idea I took up is the temple dance. Once, Guru Sri Sadguru mentioned that there are thousands of Shiva temples in Telangana state, which are untold due to their damaged situation. The temple dance vision is to enlighten such dilapidated and unknown temples. Dance is not only an art form, but also an opportunity to express, to create, to give, to tell a story, to live. I thought that this art form will bring the light of the plight of many untold historical temples, which were one of the most valuable assets of this nation. We are also lacking to acknowledge that our Indian education was born and brought from the temples and arts. I also wanted the temple dance to be a platform for many budding dancers to understand our Indian education and to showcase their talent. Now, the temple dance feels graced to start up providing Kuchipudi dance courses as the part of Aadigyan. Kuchipudi is an Indian art form originated from our Andhra Pradesh and it's our Telugu culture. Kuchipudi extended worldwide under the blessings of Padma Bhushan Dr. Vempati Chinna Satyam garu. It's always a blessing and proud to see myself as a Kuchipudi dancer, and I feel it's my responsibility to spread the liveliness in our culture and arts to the following generations. I'm looking forward to work with esteemed university, SRM University, as a part of Aadigyan. Before I conclude my speech, I would like to stream some of my previous works done in the name of the temple dance. Please, I couldn't see the stream option in me. Please, can anyone help in that? Yes, please.
Please share the screen.
Kindly click
Please, I
on the
couldn't
share
find.
screen option.
I
And
couldn't
then
find
you
the
will
screen option.
There will be an option of share screen.
share screen. Click on the share screen option.
I couldn't find that option.
Here, below.
Yeah,
Next
below
to,
I couldn't find
share
it.
next to chat. There is a share screen option.
No, I couldn't find it. So next to the chat, I have raise hand and settings. That's it.
1 second. 1 second.
Himanshi? Himanshi?
Yes, please.
Can you please now click on the share screen option?
Please give me a 2 minutes time, so I will be
Okay.
back.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call. Now I would like to invite a diplomat who is joining us from Ghana, Mrs. Jennifer.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Himansi ma'am, for sharing us your dance journey. It is very nice to hear it from you. And we're looking forward for the collaboration. Now I would like to invite a diplomat who will be joining us from Ghana, Mrs. Jennifer.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hello.
Ma'am, over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be with you today to share in the launch of this all-important initiative. Indeed, our culture, that is our ideas, customs, arts, and social interactions, etc., form our history, our present, and our future, and thus must be preserved in all means possible. I wish to therefore commend SRM University AP for taking this bold step to introduce these short-term courses on Indian art, culture, and heritage, and also wish them all the success as we join them to bring the awareness to all our nationals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for lending us your time. I would like Himansi ma'am to continue, please.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Here is the
Ma'am, we would request you to continue, please.
I'm doing it. Is my screen visible?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
तद्धित्तां तजं तां धां धित्तां तजं धीं धीं धां तजं धूं धूं तजं जं झं
And we are now looking at the video from the temple dance shot at the temple Ramappa, and the dancer is myself. I'm performing on the this was performed the song Ragam Tanam Pallavi from the movie Shankarabharanam.
రాగం తానం పల్లవి రాగం తానం పల్లవి నా మదిలోని కదలాగి కడతేర మన్నవి రాగం తానం పల్లవి నా మదిలోని కదలాడి కడతేర మన్నవి రాగం తానం పల్లవి నాదభర్తులై వేదమూర్తులై నాదభర్తులై వేదమూర్తులై రాగకీర్తులై త్రిమూర్తులై రాగం తానం పల్లవి కృష్ణా తరంగాల సారంగరాగాలు కృష్ణలీలా తరంగిణి భక్తి గీతాలు కృష్ణా తరంగాల సారంగరాగాలు కృష్ణలీలా తరంగిణి భక్తి గీతాలు సస్యకేదారాల స్వరసగాంధారాలు సస్యకేదారాల స్వరసగాంధారాలు సరస హృదయ క్షేత్ర విమల గాంధర్వాలు సరస హృదయ క్షేత్ర విమల గాంధర్వాలు క్షీరసాగర శయన దేవగాంధారిలో క్షీరసాగర శయన దేవగాంధారిలో నీ పద కీర్తన సేయగా పమ పదని రాగం తానం పల్లవి నా మదిలోని కదలాడి కడతేర మన్నవి రాగం తానం పల్లవి
Then the next video is the temple about the Bhairava Kona, which is situated in Prakasham district in the deep Nalamala forest. Actually, the name Bhairava Kona originated from the fact from Bala Bhairava Swami, who guards this place. This temple was built during the period of 600 to 630 AD by the Pallava rulers and was later renovated by the Chola rulers during 7th and 11th centuries. This group of temples were carved out of a single rock which is called as Ekashila. So the people in the village Bhairavakona says that it is like the second Kashi of India. So it's really a blessing to shoot a video in the premises of Bhairavakona.
Ma'am, can you please unmute yourself?
పంచభూతములు ముఖ పంచకమై ఆరు ఋతువులు ఆహార్యములై ప్రకృతి పార్వతి నీతో నడచిన ఏడు అడుగులే సరసప్తకమై సగమదని సగమదని సగమదగద సస నీగా మదస నిద మదస నీ దృక్కులే అటు అష్టదిక్కులై నీ వాక్కులే నవరసములై తాపసమందారా నీ మౌనమే దశోక నిషత్తులై విలవెలయా ఓం నమః శివాయ. త్రికాలములు నీ నేత్రత్రయమై చతుర్వేదములు ప్రాకారములై త్రికాలములు నీ నేత్రత్రయమై చతుర్వేదములు ప్రాకారములై గజముఖ షణ్ముఖ ప్రమదాదులు నీ సంకల్పానికి ఋత్విజవరులై అద్వైతమే నీ ఆదియోగమై నీలయలే కాలగమనమై కైలాసగిరివాస నీ గానమే జంత్రగాత్రముల శృతి కలయా ఓం నమః శివాయ. చంద్రకళాధర.
So you can find many more like dilapidated temples and the dances of many budding artists. So we have shot in many places like Gandikota, and we shot at Kolanupaka and Jakaram village, which are really unknown but very powerful and spiritual temples. So you can follow us. You can see many more videos on our YouTube channel, The Temple Dance. So, and I'm looking forward to work with this esteemed university, the SRM University. And thank you to the Office of International Relations and Higher Studies for this blissful opportunity. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mom, for sharing those wonderful and astounding videos. We are honored with your presence today. We have reached the end of the ceremony. Thank you, everyone who has been attending this event. I hope you all had an amazing and informative time. Now, I would like to request Revati Ma'am, Assistant Director, Student Affairs, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Manugna. Thank you, Manugna. Deep roots in culture and philosophy is what makes India a great country. Today's ceremony of Indian Immersion Program, Aadigyan, Experience the Glory of India was a celebration of all things that makes us unique and by giving access to the world information about our centuries-old heritage. Aadigyan has become a success due to the contribution and collaboration with those who are working towards spreading these practices at the global level for years. I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to ISKCON, The Art of Living, Isha Foundation, Brahma Kumaris, Ramakrishna Mutt, the Temple Dance, and Dr. Tushar Guha's Mrityanjali for collaborating with us and bringing in a range of courses that not only gives us a world of glimpse of this diversity, but also elevate the way we view life and ourselves. I would like to forward my heartfelt appreciation to Honorable Shri Kishanji, Srimati Radhe Jaggi ji from Isha Foundation, Shri Swami Bodhamayananda ji from RK Mutt, Shri Radheshyam ji from ISKCON, Shri Pratiksha Kashi ji from Indian Kuchipudi Dance, Shri Rajiv Nambia from The Art of Living, Srimati Shivani ji from Brahma Kumaris, Dr. Revant Vikram Singh, Director of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, High Commission of India, Sri Lanka, Mrs. Jennifer, High Commission of India, Ghana, Ms. Goli Gabi, Health and Wellness Coach, Dr. Tushar Guhaji from Nrityanjali, Ms. Himanshi from the Temple Dance, for joining us virtually and addressing us on this occasion. I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Registrar, Deans, and Directors for their valuable support, as always. I also would like to thank ITKM for the support extended for making it possible for the participation for everyone to join virtually. I would like to thank all the students who are part of this program. And last but not the least, I also would like to thank each and every one of you who attended this program physically and virtually to make it a success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like all of you to stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविण उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय दाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone.